Previously, in the world of Galamora.
Do a flip? I am not going to do a flip. I will die. The sound of your footsteps is almost calming in how little it seems to echo. It does kind of feel like you're underwater right now. The world is very muted in the noises it makes. Also, there's a solid amount of dead bodies around the edge of this sandy base to the stairs. You see from above you, there's some large figure that seems to be coming out of the darkness. It's a very large skull that's pointing down towards the pool in front of you.
Yeah, I have no idea what it means, but I know where it is. It's in another world.
They tell you it's in a place called Umberin.
Shanti, what is that on your neck? I know a bite mark when I see one. You and Elric didn't perhaps... Where is he now?
Why?
I want to talk to him.
What are you going to do?
I just want to talk to him.
Why don't I believe you?
Clump of butter on top of it, maple syrup poured on top, straight from Silenoris.
Yeah.
Nice thick slices of toast.
Oh, okay. I think that was French toast.
As you start
Something-
using your mage hand ability, and it floats up a few sticks of bacon, you see Jonathan kind of duck around them. Funny that I meet you here, actually. Miss Neve was just asking that you all join her once you're done eating, back in her office.
Ending stones.
Yep. You talk into one end, it
Oh,
sends it to
okay.
one. You talk into the other end, it sends it to the other side. You can make a loop out of them.
Yo, Jonathan.
Well, sure. I've been getting cooped up, and now that my presentation's all done in Mortel Bay, I'd love to. Miss Sinead, is that you? You must leave this place. They lure you here. Trap.
People like to think they know the future. They only see bits and fragments of it, and they think that they are oracles. If you align yourself that closely to what you think is the future, it's going to end up happening.
It's just a door. I open it.
What's
Hey
beyond
guys,
the door?
nothing bad. Ah!
And you immediately see him on the other side of the door, just kind of giggling. Large mechanical knights step out from behind these pillars.
Okay, these things actually hurt.
Does 31 hit?
Yes, very much so.
Holy crap, you managed to hit it twice.
Yay! Go, Jonathan!
I have a feeling this is going to take a bit longer than an hour.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
You expected it to illuminate the sphere itself, but it's almost like the aura that's supposed to be emanating and highlighting the sphere, it's like it's deeper inside of it, like a layer underneath it. You start to feel the sensation like you're falling forward.
I pull back from the crystal and I just kind of look at Brock and I'm like,
You look over your shoulder to turn towards Brock and communicate with him, and you realize he's gotten a lot further away. And from your perspective, it seems like you're falling deeper into some darkness. Yeah, you all see Shanti drop cold, and you can see his hip is strapped with a weapon, and he slowly walks, each footstep painfully echoing on the walls around you. Looks like the protection of the Soul Stone has claimed her. Well then, Sinead. It's been a while. The man smiles at Sinead.
alright, we're alive. We are alive. We are...
Okay.
We are
Alive.
We have been dead before.
Are we
but
alive?
now
Are we
will
alive?
live.
Everybody check themselves. Check your
Cocaine.
pulses. Mars, no. We talked about this. No cocaine.
I don't know. Pulse.
Nose candy.
I still talk.
No cocaine. No
Not yet.
cocaine. No
I'm
cocaine.
become a vampire.
God
I
fucking
want
damn it,
some.
you guys. No cocaine.
I want
You give me some nose candy.
We talked about
Why not?
this.
nose candy.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Untold Realms: Rise of Vestia. This is session 16, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, session 16.
It's a number.
I'm not. It's a number. You're
I don't know.
not
don't know
wrong.
how to
We have
count.
Streaky back today. Yay!
It's not a letter.
Correct.
I've returned.
Streaky has returned. Finally, we have the hot brooding monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey. Monk. Oh God.
Monk.
The missing
Monkey.
monk
You can make him a monkey,
represents
it's
our
fine.
complete journey to monkey.
Monk become monkey. Oh my
Monk.
God.
Oh,
Briar
no.
needs so many naps. Anyway, let me just fix something real quick so that I don't fuck my words up again. There we go. Anyway, Welcome to Untold Realms, Rise of Vestia, session 16.
No Scandy.
I'm personally just gonna come out and give you a trigger warning, because this one's about to get angsty. If you don't like angst, sucks to be you. No, I'm kidding. But yes, this one is a bit
It's not my
angsty.
fault.
Yeah, it's not Azim's fault. But this one might get a bit angsty, so just a quick little trigger warning there to make sure that y'all are aware. Anything else from anyone else?
Not that I can think of.
Oh my god, did you finally learn how to do initiative in Roll20?
I just taught him.
Yeah.
Oh. You
you
sweet,
select your
sweet
character,
boys.
right?
Ish.
And then
It's
roll
pretty simple, chat. I had to click like 2 buttons.
You sweet summer child.
Yeah! You sweet summer child. Okay.
He's gotta do this.
Don't say that. That's mean.
Okay. I'm just making sure I have everything ready on my end. Come on, there it is.
I am learning American.
You
what?
already... Mars, that's just English. That's just English.
It is not.
Okay. I am doing
What?
one more thing and
Well-
then I will be ready. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna hand this right on over to Makeshift, and we are going to get it started in here.
Nice. I'm really excited for this session because this is one of those sessions that it didn't really occur to me like how far we'd like bring this whole campaign, but now we're like 16 sessions in. I can't multiply that by 4 very easily, but it's something in the ballpark of like 50 to 60 hours of content. So like, yikes. Like,
I mean, I have a
It's a lot
calculator.
of
Do you want me to try?
That's over 60.
I'm gonna do it. I have a calculator.
64.
sure.
Please
It's
tell
like
me.
64 hours.
We
Is
beat
it
the Bible
seriously
yet.
64 hours? It's 60. God damn, Streaky, I'm impressed. That is the numbers brain working right there.
I'll quickly Google audiobook
I think we
length.
beat the
My
Bible.
counting numbers, it's just like.
Are we longer than the Dune
So
audiobook
what you're
yet?
saying, if we do.
15 times 4.
So
plus
what you're
4.
saying is that if we do
Yes,
5
we are
hours
longer
right
than
now,
Dune.
we'll have done
Yes.
69 hours.
Nice.
The first Dune book is like 22 hours.
Well, Streaky, if you combine the 30-minute special episodes that we have on YouTube, the Baking Festival and the Lavos incident, technically, that's an extra hour right there.
If you count the other campaign, we have
Then
beaten
we
the
did
Bible.
another 4.
We have,
Bible is
we have beaten the Bible!
72 hours and 1 minute. I'm looking at
We
an
have beaten
Amazon
the
posting.
Bible.
We're the new Bible now! Oh my god.
Pray to us, we are your God.
Change the name of the stream, just we beat the Bible.
I don't get what Bible.
The Christian Bible. The one with Jesus.
Hey, how'd you beat it?
We're longer
Did
than
we
the
beat the
audiobook.
Torah?
The Beebus.
That's a good question. Probably not.
There's an audiobook?
Yeah, somebody read the
Did
entire
we beat
Bible.
the Quran?
Yes.
Again, I have no
The
idea.
whole Bible.
Yes.
We must beat every religion.
Mm-hmm.
That person has probably read it more than some people that call themselves Christians.
You're definitely not wrong there.
Well, his presence is enough. You know.
You're not wrong. Sadly, you're not wrong.
All right.
I forgot to turn off, I need to turn on streamer mode.
nice.
Now we have, no Discord sounds. Oh, fuck me.
What? Oh. Turning off the.
Please don't.
Ah,
Just checking something real quick before we get started, and then I will kick off the campaign. Alright, word.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm ready.
Alright. Last session, things ended off in the heat of the moment. Shanti had just dropped to the floor unconscious, seemingly having her soul pulled out of her body into that crystal. And a very mysterious figure approached from the shadows, greeting Shanti as if he knew her. And he seems
Greeting
to have an air of
Shanti or
danger.
greeting Sinead?
Sinead. Greeting
How many
Sinead.
times have you done that this week?
And he seems to have an air of danger around him. the kind of danger emanating from a person who cannot remember names. But the moment that Shanti hit the floor, Brock's brought back to a moment in his past. It's flashback time. So Brock, you recall this moment back when you were first, you're at a dig site just outside a recent unfortunate landslide. And it's just outside the doors of Diriona. It's not like next to it, but like you can see the doors from here. It's not hard. The mountains looming overhead. And it's a reminder of the past. The not too distant past at that. And all around you there's many different dwarves working on various operations, trying to prop up structures that are underneath a lot of weight while also trying to remove various debris from them. And the operation seems to be going quite smoothly as all of the rubble seems relatively stable at this point. And that's basically all that's going on right now. And currently you're just you're outside one such site where they're excavating a building to try and dig up whatever rubble is underneath it. The buildings nearby it seem to have been like completely destroyed, so the effort's going on like only 20 feet behind you. That's like those buildings are just demolished, like there's no way anybody's alive under them. But the buildings in front of you do still have a bit of structure left to them, so they're currently excavating them in case somebody managed to like be shielded via like some furniture or something, because their building is still mostly intact. Aside from that, you're just chilling while the other dwarves do their work.
I mean, I'd probably go in 1 second, parents. Great timing.
Ah, speaking of parental figures.
Of course, they're going to bed now.
Hi, Mom.
Anyway, stepfather, but yeah, same thing.
That panda.
Am I taking a break right now, or am I just a supervisor looking at what the fuck they're doing?
You're kind of a supervisor position, so the people who are around here are members of, like, Vestia. They aren't from Diriona.
Mhm.
There are some people from Diriona around here, but it's sort of like the site was taken over by Vestia, so there's a lot of dwarves just around that aren't exactly, like, happy about the fact that Vestia is just like, yeah, no, we're handling this one, because there's, like, this is kind of suspicious. So it's like when the FBI shows up and the police have to like yield to them.
God damn it, not
Yeah.
Ruby Ridge again.
God damn, and I am part of the police in this part. Well, considering the chain of command, I'm probably just gonna join my other dwarves who are also getting cucked out of their work. And just be like, oh, fucking hell.
That's an interesting way to put it.
You gonna join the dwarves who are in front of you trying to hollow out this building? There's also over to like further up the face of this area, further up the face of this hill, where kind of it seems a landslide started. You can see there's another team of dwarves who are investigating the whole region, specifically right where the landslide starts. It seems like a whole investigation site up there.
I'm assuming the investigation is Vestia shit, right?
Yeah, Vestia. There's also a few
Then-
dwarves at your side who are from Vestia, but generally it's down here where the excavation's happening. It's like a mix of Vestia and some Dirion.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, then I'm going to be joining those that are currently excavating.
Gotcha.
Help them and just say to one of them, one of the ones from Diriona specifically, just, God fucking damn it. I hate when they just snoop their nose into everything.
He looks over at you. You're telling me. Well, at least their equipment's good. He sort of gestures over towards some, there's like some golems, like mechanical ones, that are moving in and out of buildings. They seem to be like bucket brigading chunks of dirt away, while some are like supporting buildings. You see a few of those around.
Yeah. Oh god, they gotta have resources.
Yeah. Wish we had that sort of thing. Well,
I wish I could work with that sort of thing.
yeah. They're the dream, you know?
Mhm.
Fortunately, we're stuck on pickup duty after, well, whatever the hell happened around here.
Well, at least it's a change from the fucking office for once, but god, fuck. This is a mess.
Yeah. You see the dwarf kind of like look over his shoulder at where the explosion started, or supposedly the landslide started, since it's kind of known that like the leading theory is explosion. He gestures up towards the top where it started and says, "So, how do you think they did it?" Yeah, same. How does anybody cause a landslide in a place like this without getting caught? I mean, the soil here isn't even unstable. It's not even the kind of time of year where this sort of thing happens.
I don't
So?
trust those fucking rumors. That would have needed so much force.
Exactly.
They would have needed to fucking know of the person way ahead of time just by sheer resources that whoever was there would have needed to get this started.
Exactly. Got me worried that somebody on the inside, maybe even just Diriona, could be one of our fucking coworkers.
God, no.
Something's bothering me, though. This has almost certainly got to be some sort of sabotage, you know? Wasn't natural. But the only thing that could have done this is explosives, you know? Standard protocol. Little TNT.
Yeah.
But look up there. Don't see any scorch marks in the grass or anything. How's that work?
I don't know. Probably would have needed to have weakened the ground beforehand, specifically for it. Maybe lower the yield that you need.
You can see some dwarves that are way up there seem to be like picking up some components and like putting them in some sort of containers. They're probably like saving evidence or something.
I wonder what the fuck they're finding up there. Doesn't
Yeah.
look like scrap from buildings.
Yeah. Whatever they're finding, it's better than what we're finding. Like, good about 30% bodies that we're finding on this rubble.
If I have to dig up another corpse after today. This is enough for a fucking lifetime.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's like a war zone down here. Oh, I think I spoke too soon, Brock. Yeah, let's see what we got here. You hear some, seems like the golems have stopped moving because they found something. They're kind of like gesturing towards the inside of this building that they're propping up.
I will move into that direction and see if there's a way in that is currently excavated.
You do. The golem's kind of like holding up the front of the building. It seems like he's doing it as like a safety protocol rather than like out of necessity, because most of the dirt has been like dug away in a path to the door. So he's just standing in the door and like moving to the side of it so that you can step through.
I will attempt to open the door.
You do that, and give me a strength check. DC 10.
And strength. That is a 19. Oh, this is strength. Yeah, it's the same fucking roll.
Nice. You sort of shove your shoulder into the door, and like some dirt that's still on the other side of the door kind of like pushes out of the way. But after another good heave, you manage to open it just enough that you can see inside a little bit, and like some dirt spills out at about knee height.
Can I see what's inside?
Seems pretty dark, but it looks like based on where the window was, the dirt kind of like pushed everything into out of. It's like behind where the door is blocking, sort of.
Okay. I would know artificer magic by this point to some degree, right?
You know what?
Artificer magic a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like at first or second level. Okay.
Yeah.
I will take out a small ball bearing or something from one of my patches and use, what the fuck is it, magical tinkering on it to make it emit a little bit of light and just throw that in very gently to not cause any disturbance to the balance.
You do that, and as you hear it kind of you flick it inside and it kind of rolls with the slope of the dirt. And you can hear it sort of like crumble against the dirt for a second until the sound gets dulled once it's behind the door. And you just see like a bunch of dirt inside.
I will look over at. Is there anyone of us operating the golems nearby, or just the golems?
There's one golem who's standing right next to you as he's like standing in the doorway, basically, like next to you. And then there's the dwarf that you were just talking to, who's kind of standing a little bit higher up where the dirt has not been dug away.
I'll talk to the dwarf and say, hey, get some of the golems to help us excavate this stuff inside. And I will try to make my way in to get a
He
closer
kind of
look.
like, he squints at the doorway and just goes, you sure you can't just peek around the edge? I gave him the wrong voice. Sure you can't just
It's
peek
fine.
around the edge?
Oh, there's... Wait. What do you say?
Yeah, the door's...
Height?
Yeah, the dirt kind of spills out around knee height, but you can get in.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, then I misunderstood, my bad. Yeah, then I just push my way in with my large, thick body.
You do that, squeezing past like a foot-wide gap in the door, and you're standing inside this room. You hear the dwarf call out to you and goes, so what do you see in there? And
Mr. DM, what do I see in there?
when you look down, you see there's mostly just dirt, and it seems like a bed was pushed to the far side of the room, and it's pretty splintered apart. Like, it looks like this is a pretty small living space, but it looks like your light source sort of ended where the bed got split, and there's something seemingly behind the bed. It looks like some fabric underneath it. It's like it's sort of cracked open in the middle, and then some fabric showing through it.
I'll say a bunch of dirt, a fucking bed. Look, there's something behind that, and I will make my way over.
Somebody taking a nap in there? And you make your way over to it as you hear the dwarf say that. Little does he know it's going to be rather untimely, a bit too soon, you might say. You get closer to it, and the light source is making it pretty clear that, like, it seems like something is buried just under the surface of the dirt right now, and like there's a layer of dirt on it, but you can see like a patch kind of poking through.
I will start digging at the dirt to reveal what is beneath it.
You do that, and after a few minutes of after like a few swipes, you realize that like it seems to have kind of a unfortunate like fleshy stiffness to it, and you realize this might be a corpse that you're feeling. And as you kind of swipe away more of it, you can see it looks like it might be somebody's back as they were facing down. Give me a quick perception check. DC like 5.
That's my modifier.
Hmm. You can hear something seemingly coming from underneath this. It's almost like the person might still be alive, and you hear sort of a very faint speaking coming from it, as if somebody is like crying under the dirt. It's very muffled.
At that moment, Brock will take one step back, just shocked because he didn't expect to find someone alive, and just call out to the dwarf, "Fuck, get someone here that knows how to heal. We have a survivor."
Ah, shit, really? Yeah, one
Yes.
second, I'll go grab somebody. And you hear his feet kind of quickly jog off. After a minute, you can hear him like talking. Somebody else is heading on the way pretty soon, it seems.
I will attempt to dig around the body without necessarily disturbing the body, just in case, like, any injury is like a broken bone that shouldn't be moved.
You do that. You can also ask the golem to help you. That's one of the things that they can do pretty easily.
Oh, so
Since
they
it's
do
just
listen
indoor.
to me as well.
Yeah.
They're okay. Then I will call out to the golem. Get in here, help me dig this person out. Make sure they're stable.
You hear it kind of buzzing and shifting around as it pushes the door a good amount more and forces its torso through. And it quickly starts getting to work on the area around the bed frame to try and clear it away safely. And it makes some pretty quick progress of things. Its hands kind of like switch out to like shovel shapes and start like quickly moving the dirt. And then right after that, the dwarf, like 2 more dwarves, one of the ones you were talking to before, like come through the doorway as well. And one of them seems to be the healer that you were requesting.
I'll look over my shoulder and I'll just wave him over. Come here. Help me with this.
You do that. And after a few minutes of work, you start to uncover more and more of this body. But how cold it is really starting to worry you. And pretty quickly, you all realize that the top of the body that you're looking at is somebody who's facing downward, and they very much have like some big like wood splinter punctures going through their back that weren't visible from like the dirt before, but they're now pretty obvious. And as you're unearthing them more, like the sounds are getting clearer. So it seems like there might be somebody under them.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm going to ask the healer. Actually, can I tell if they're dead or alive fully? Just flat out.
Oh, the healer? If you're asking him about it, he confirms like, yeah, I can tell this person they're not alive. Because spare the dying won't do anything on them.
Yeah, okay. At this point, I will... How much of it is uncovered? The full back, like torso, or are we still
Most of the
trying?
torso. Yeah, most of the torso and the head's coming into view pretty quickly.
Once I can, I would like to move the torso all the way fully
Mm-hmm.
to see if we can uncover what's beneath it.
Once you get like a bit of a gap available, you reach your arm underneath the midsection and you attempt to pull them loose, and you manage to do so. And the person who you pull free is like very much dead at this point. And beneath him, you can see what looks to be a very young Kalistar laying in the dirt, who's like half submerged in the dirt, but they were kind of like the shrapnel didn't really like hit them because of the person above them, but their arms Like one of their arms also seems to be pinned. Shanti, you barely hanging on to consciousness, see the light of day for the first time in, I'm pretty sure, multiple days.
Yeah.
And, or at least like 2 days, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's about 2
And,
days, yeah.
You are greeted by the sight of a few dwarves and a golem digging you out of the dirt. And you can hardly see it, but based on just like the height of them, you can kind of tell it's dwarves and something mechanical sounding.
Pretty much just relief kind of floods through her, because she's like, oh, fucking finally. There's people, like, I'm not gonna die here. And she tries to move one of her arms, but it's just, like, not moving. She's, hasn't drank or eaten anything for 2 days, so it's kind of like, nope, body's not listening. Thanks, though.
You do that, and Brock, you see a child, like, really struggling to move.
I will say to the healer, make sure that word. I know it in German. Give me 1 second to think about it in English.
Google Translate is your friend.
Sometimes.
Just say it in
Health.
abyssal.
Health is the fucking word. How the fuck?
Health.
Health.
Yes, Gesundheit is like, hold up, no. Huh? Make sure they're healthy, and I will pull out a leather skin for water and slowly hold that against her mouth.
She's gonna
Do
drink
that.
it, because dang, she needs some water.
You do
Yeah,
that
she's gonna
and you
gulp at
feel-
that like it is like the last thing she'll ever see.
Immediately feel more refreshed after getting that water in you. And that's actually give me a Constitution saving throw on that water.
Oof.
Or
Constitution.
malaria.
Malaria?
Actual water.
DC
Pretty
10.
sure it's
Roll-
just water.
Roll for malaria.
A roll for malaria. Is saving throw or check?
A saving throw.
They're putting chemicals underwater that turn the freaking frogs gay.
It turns the frickin' Shanti gay.
That's what
that
happened
is
to
a-
Crocus.
That's a 19.
19.
Yes.
You drink the water and you don't cough on it, even though you're laying on your back and very weak.
You
Yeah,
ever
that's
drank
some
water after a long
funny
day at
water.
Six Flags? It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just fucking gulps at it like it's liquid gold. Oh wait, you shouldn't drink liquid gold. That's dangerous.
The forbidden drink, liquid gold. Is the healer checking her out?
Yeah, the healer seems to be casting. He like standing next to you, reaches down, like puts a hand on her stomach, and his hand kind of like glows. It seems like he probably just cast healing touch, and immediately, Shanti, you are feeling quite a bit better.
Can I move my hand out from under where it's pinned?
Yeah, give me a strength check, DC 10.
That's strength check, which is her lowest modifier. Oof, that's a 3. That's not happening. Please tell me y'all heard what I just said. My mic's not fucking up.
That's a free.
Yeah, we heard you.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said that was something else. Okay.
Nope.
So yeah, you try and struggle your arm out of the dirt, but it doesn't really work. And then the golem, seeing that you just had a healing spell cast on you, reaches down towards your torso and like grabs onto most of it. Its hands are big enough that it's like it's basically holding your entire torso at once. And it just starts like hoisting you up and it pretty quickly like slips you out from under the dirt. Luckily, you it was basically just waiting for you not to have crush syndrome, essentially, because you were under the dirt for a while.
Is it possible to try and like grab onto Brock's like sleeve or whatever he's wearing?
Yeah, give me a dexterity saving throw or a dexterity check.
Another low modifier. Let's go, boys. That is a 11.
You stumble forward a little bit as the golem's still kind of holding you, and you like reach over to grab for him. And then when the golem sees that you're like grabbing somebody else, it like lets you go, and you stumble forward and like pull down on him as you fall forward.
Oh.
Brock will immediately pick her up.
Oh.
You do that. Give me a strength check, DC 1.
I mean, it is a fucking 5-year-old, so.
You do in fact pick them up quite easily.
So God, I fucking hope so.
Imagine it failed. Couldn't lift the child.
Damn, -1 modifier rolls is 0. No. I pick her up, I pat her on the back, like, you're fine, you're safe. I'll get you something to eat, and... Oh god. And I'll just a little bit too tight, hug her, very much happy that for the first time in the fucking 2 days he's seen someone alive from beneath the dirt. Almost comforting himself on that.
She's gonna wrap her arms around his neck and just not. She's like, if any words at all are coming out, they're all in quarry. Like they're not. She's not speaking common at this point. She's just, yep, person, give water, person save, hug person, stay with person.
I thought you were saying choke out. I said like he's choking him.
God no.
One with the
You
mud,
saved me.
one with the
Let me
dirt.
choke you out.
One with the mud, one with the dirt.
Oh God.
With the dirt.
Fucking hell.
And as you're holding Shanti tightly, this child that's been like the first sign of life in quite a while, as you're holding them, feel happy just to know that like you've saved at least one person in this terrible incident. It's quite miraculous that they survived. And as you like release your grip and as they release theirs,
She doesn't. No, she's holding on to him. No.
oh, but you do, because as you do,
Oh, sad.
Brock is brought back to the present, and he sees the grown Shanti unconscious in his arms, laying on the ground. And we are back in the present, folks.
Oh.
We're in the purple building, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna
Sure,
put
yeah,
y'all
let's
back
switch
there.
back to that.
Voice.
Wait.
Oh my god, this is pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like it. No noir
It
world.
worked for me for some reason. There we go.
Just a moment ago, this individual walked in from over at the side. He's got a very grayscale but very dark themed outfit on, and his facial hair and his hair is short and jet black. No relation to our jet. But he's sort of eyeing you all, and he just finished saying, "So, Sinead, how have you been?"
Yeah, I've been. All right. You. Guy.
Is supposed to die?
Oh my god.
I guess it has been a while. The name is, Kolvar.
Winston.
You never did have the best memory with, well, mortals. Unless you get, he looks over to Jonathan and raises an eyebrow. Attached, I presume? Miss Sinead, do you...
He used to do track in uni.
Well, yeah, Miss Sinead, do you know him? Does he work in Vestia? Well, I kind of did. Used to, a long time ago.
Oh. Yeah, now I remember. You're not dead. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. He looks over at the rest of the group. Let's see here. You were probably involved in the Feywild, based on those mushrooms. Looking over at Zendel.
Oh.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Alright then. And you. Let me guess, Diriona worked as a miner? He looks over at Brock.
Rock does not hear him right now. He
Fucking
kind of
move.
cradles Shanti. Is like, please stay with me.
Well, perhaps it's hard of hearing, or perhaps the dwarves have gotten as hollow in the head as that mountain they've been hollowing
Oh,
out.
you dickhead!
Ooh.
Hey, you can't hear that. You're unconscious.
I know!
Ooh.
I'm not- she's not saying it, I'm saying it! He's a
Yeah?
dickhead!
And then, oh, that sounds like something Jonathan would say. Jonathan speaks up and he goes, excuse me, that's one of the top officials in Vestia. And who are you? Oh,
Top knocked out officials.
what a day this has been.
Jesus
Well,
Christ, Sendel.
That's
Top- yeah,
unimportant.
I'm not wrong, am I?
No.
He walks over a little closer to Jonathan to get a good look at him. So you ran track in uni? Yeah. Why do you ask?
Like that. Sorry.
I'm
go on.
sure that's your crowning achievement, and that's why this one keeps you around. Well, no, I'm doing an internship, and I'm actually the world's I don't really care, kid. Anyway. Now then.
He is the world's leading biologist.
Okay. Good for him. Last I
Very
checked, that
proud
was
of him.
Last I checked, that was some guy who lives in Silanoris. So, I don't know. He's the superior of some cabin dwellers and mountain folk. God, who is this guy? Such a jerk.
Shit in his shoes, Jonathan. Shit in his shoes. Just calls from the beyond. No.
Actually, what spells does Jonathan have that he can use right now?
Hit him with a fireball.
No, Jonathan doesn't have fireball.
Sad.
Damn, Sage.
I don't care how big the room is. I just cast fireball.
Well, anyway. You see, we all have a little problem here. Aside from, well, the problems that you all seem to have. You see, I can't exactly have you all here. This place is a bit important, you might say. And I have a sneaking suspicion that you're trying to do something here, which I can't allow, Sinead.
Okay, Winston, what about it?
What about it? I'm saying is, how about we take the easy route? Door's right there. You can just leave.
Yeah, that can't happen.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say something like that. Always were the one who had to make things exactly their way. And you wonder why I quit.
You didn't quit, you disappeared. Into a portal.
Same thing. Anyway.
Same thing.
Hey, bring him over. And from out in the shadows, some other figures appear. One of which seems to be this, like, noticeably very muscular, intimidating Goliath. And
I'm
another
letting you
seems
place
to be,
those down, buddy, because I don't know where to put them, so...
Yeah, don't worry.
Gotcha.
And another seems to be this, a tiefling. They seem like more of a normal tiefling than Sinead does. Let me grab. It is this guy. And this guy. They step up behind them and they throw this individual in front of them who seems to be kind of like soaked, or who seems to be a bit soaked in like some like swampy scent almost. And you recognize it as Azim. And they kind of toss him forward onto the ground right here.
Hey, it's Assam.
Yeah. And,
Where did you get
Azim-
Assam?
You see, I noticed a little problem occurring in the Feywild. And, well, little's kind of a understatement. Somebody cast some very powerful magic. Some magic they really were not supposed to be casting. And I have to quickly check and see who that was. Yeah.
Uriel?
And- No, they were just disconnected from the call.
Jet.
Oof. Jet died.
Oh.
Jet died.
That died.
Oh no, his internet.
Oh boy.
Fuck. Oh boy.
We're gonna figure that as we go, boys. So you see Zendel.
Okay, guys, new boss fight internet.
All right, everyone,
for
get your plane
initiative.
tickets. We're going to Jet.
Roll for. And so
I got it. I got you.
a lag joke.
I got you.
We're
I
just gonna
understood that
assume
reference.
Zendel ate a mushroom on his shoulder while he was busy, sort of like eating popcorn, and he hit one that hit a little different.
He's just
now
stumbling
stumbling
over in
out.
the side, going, "Oh."
He just goes and stands over in this corner here and just.
On the fucking box.
I think that one was a toadstool.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Dangerously spicy. And
That's what they
so,
called me in high school. Just kidding.
You see, I detected some magic, and it seems somebody was using the body of a god to cast some epic level magic. And, well, once I went and investigated that, it's pretty easy to find a certain monk who was utilizing the powers of one of the most powerful gods to have ever existed. Care to explain that? Because I think there's only one place he could have gotten that. Right, what was it, what was your name again?
As
He's
just, like,
alive.
on the face down, just tired because, as he said, he got smacked the fuck up. So
Am I back?
he's just like
Like
raises the just like, Asm.
Azim, right. So, that explains how I got here, how he got here. And now, here's an explanation of how all of you should be leaving, which is down that hallway, up the stairs, and right back where you came from. But, he looks over at Shanti. I have a sneaking suspicion that isn't going to happen. You doing right there, Zendel?
Yeah, Bruno, it's not going to happen.
I think
We basically made up a story that you ate a mushroom that was a little too much for you and you had to walk over to the box for a bit.
let's just say I spaced out with the might of the mushroom.
The might of the
Yep.
mushroom.
Mushroom.
Good. There's Zendel's t-shirt ideas, just him in a field of mushrooms going, "The might of the mushroom!"
Mushroom,
I like it.
mushroom warrior returns. Anyway,
And so,
I seem to have regained consciousness while Azim is having a little
He's just faced out on the floor.
spiffy towards this guy. Totally remember his name, not from the Might of the Mushroom. Something. Yeah, something.
Kolvar.
Boulevard for Dragon.
Kolvar, not Boulevard.
Boulevard.
Damn.
Beatrice!
Boulevard, that's his name.
So, we're in a coal and var, like a coal mine, but
oh my
Var.
god. So you do remember my name, Sinead. And no, it's not that difficult. It's just Kolvar. He like combs his hair a bit like
Kolvard.
oh.
I wish
And
I
as
were
that,
conscious.
As that conversation is going on, as they're figuring out how to best diss Kolvar for what he was saying to Jonathan. Also, you can see another you can see another character lurking in the background. It seems to be about the height of a dwarf, but they haven't like stepped into the light just yet. Let me grab their piece just to make sure they are on the board. It should be this
Somehow.
person right here in the back. They're a bit shorter. They look about the height of Brock. And that's where they're standing right now. In the meantime, let's call this Group A. And Group B is Shanti.
How the fuck am I a group?
You know.
Associated to disorder.
Oh no, I had to make makeshift use more than one braid cell. I love you, makeshift.
You'll see
Please
how-
don't kill my character.
You see. Don't
Not
worry.
yet.
I'm going to by the end of this session.
Ah!
Kind of.
No! Fuck.
So,
Okay. Fuck.
so Shanti,
Mhm.
you awaken in where it seems like your dream had left off previously. You sort of had this feeling of falling until you just found yourself at the base of that staircase again on the soft sands. You didn't feel the impact of actually falling. It's just you kind of zoomed away from something, and then all of a sudden, there's no impact. You're just resting here on the sand. And you see that skull from before reaching down towards the pool of blood, and it's much closer now. It seems a bit calmer, but it's still like right there.
Fuck. I'm trying to like think how she'd react to this. She kind of looks around and it's just like, fuck. Okay. Is it okay, I'm gonna kick the sand a little bit. How does the sand react?
It still has very much so that feeling of like it's underwater, it's under much less gravity. It's
Okay.
powdery and a lot finer than the sand that you've known from beaches back where you live. It's like yeah, it just feels more like flour than sand.
I'm gonna bend down, pick up a little bit of the sand, let it like fall out of my hand, and look around again. She's just like, okay, I gotta figure out a way around this. How's my
And-
eyesight?
Your eyesight's a lot better since you are in one of your like spectral forms. You can actually see
Nice.
normally. So things are looking pretty clean in this world,
Okay.
granting you a kind of it's this sort of situation of like you're in an unknown place, but you do have your senses about you more than usual, so it's a bit
Okay.
comforting, even though you're in a scary situation.
Okay.
And as
You were
you're
about to
getting your
say something.
bearings,
There it is.
yeah, you hear a very distant voice seemingly calling you from where the skull is. And it's hovering pretty close to the ground right now. It's like height level. And it's a voice that feels very familiar, but it's not quite recognizable. It's hard to explain, but something about it is very, like, you know that voice from somewhere.
Okay. Shanti is going to kind of pause for a second and try to place where that voice is from, but it's just like, oh shit, it's just familiar. Like, I don't exactly remember. So she's going to start making her way towards the skull a bit carefully. She's, oh, she doesn't really want to get bit by a skull. Teeth are intimidating.
Yeah, that thing is it's big. Like, it's weirdly big. Like, could take up, like, you could fit it in a room, but you probably couldn't fit it through the doorway, kind of big. But
Oh, like my old bean bag from my college days.
even larger. It's more like the size of a large bed that you've seen before in its, like, box dimensions.
Oh, like my old bunk bed from my college days.
Yes, that size.
Okay. I'm going
giant
to
skull.
walk towards it. Very cautiously. I'm going to put my hand on... Because I have a dagger, so I'm going to put my hand on that dagger. Just cautiously.
As you
Every
do
girl
so,
got a knife.
As you do so, the skull doesn't seem to be reacting. It seems like it's just doing its own thing with, like, whatever it's doing with this blood. But the voice that seems to be coming from it does seem to be getting more intense, and it's almost like there's a rift forming along the edge of the skull, not really aligned with any of the plates of the bone, but just kind of centered on it. And it seems like there's something calling you from there.
After a moment of cautious pondering, she's going to take a few steps forward and gently reach out towards the rift.
You do that. As you do, it seems like a faint silhouette of seemingly either a shadow or something made of light is reaching back towards you, but it's hard to tell with how bright this, like, slim rift in the skull is starting to get. And once you start reaching closer and closer, you find yourself in a different place.
What
Just
kind
a
of
second.
place? Can you describe this place to me? Please, for the love of God, describe it.
You find
I'll,
yourself in the rubble of Diriona, specifically along the outskirts of, like, kind of like the hilltop view of where the disaster had occurred on your town. But everything is it's in this sort of mist. It's very vacant. It's like the world is kind of sleeping. It's hard to describe, but everything is quite calm.
I'm going to look around a bit confused as to why I'm now in Diriona. Diriona. I swear to God I can speak English. Am I standing, like, on top of a pile? Like what am I standing on top of?
So where you're standing is kind of seemingly where the landslide started. So there's, like, this big scoop of earth away from where you are, but you're standing on what remains of where there was a hill.
Is there anything, like, in the remains? Like, can I step forward and examine, see if there's anything there?
Sure, if you want to, you can, like, step forward. It's not so steep that, like, you'd fall. You could probably just, like, slide down the edge of this pretty easily.
Oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sit down on my butt and I'm gonna slide over there.
You
A
do
little
that.
Scoochy scooch.
Sliding down kind of the rocky remains of this like, scooped out slope as you slide inward towards the site of this town's, like, destruction. And you're now on, like, a walking level with all the buildings.
Is there anyone around? Like, any dwarves or anything, or is it just completely empty?
It's very vacant. Like, there's no living people around. It seems like there's not even, like, there's just not a soul in sight.
Do I recognize any of the buildings?
You do kind of recognize the shape. It's the town you grew up in.
Well, yeah, but like, which part of the town? Am I in like wherever there would have been a market, or am I in like a neighborhood type area?
You're near what looks like it was a town square. Like, there aren't too many buildings here, and you kind of recognize where that was, which is like right down the street from where your house was.
Once she kind of gets her bearings and realizes exactly which part of the town she's in, she's going to head in the direction of where her house was.
You do that, quickly going down former avenues that are still kind of standing from where buildings do still stand. And as you round one corner to where you know your house is going to be, once you turn that corner, you see some figure standing in front of your house. And that silhouette does kind of remind you of your mother, especially after you saw her in the alternate universe. Like, the image of her is a bit more burned into your mind now. But she's facing away.
Mom? And I'm going to try and walk a bit faster to try and reach out for her.
And you do that, rushing towards them and reaching out your hand. But as they seem like they're starting to turn to look towards you, everything around you, the mist becomes like thicker and thicker as you get closer, and suddenly, as you're supposed to be standing right where they were standing, the fog is almost all encompassing. You could hardly hold your hand in front of your face and see anything.
Oh, so like normal.
And-
Got it.
Yeah. So back to normal. And the buildings and even the dirt on the ground seem to be gone. And you're back in what seems to be the halls of Vestia in your guild.
My guild.
And the mist is kind of continuously clearing away further and further, and you're getting a little bit more sight.
Am I aware of like? Okay, well, I'm gonna stop asking. Am I? Where am I in the guild hall? Like, am I in dining area, rooms, great hall? Like, where am I?
It seems like this is this does seem like the great hall where gatherings would take place for like events. So big space.
Is there anyone else around? Any shadows, spirits, people?
At first there wasn't. Then, as the mist starts to recede a bit more and more, you kind of like looking around at where you'd expect people to be standing, and you realize there's nobody in here who's standing. But as the mist clears away, there's a whole lot of bodies on the floor.
Oh no. Do I recognize the bodies? Are these my people?
They're kind of hard to recognize, but you do worry that some of these might be them. Like, the uniforms do kind of match. But
Oh no. I would like to walk to the nearest body and examine it and see if this is indeed my people.
you start moving towards one of the bodies on the ground to examine them, and one does. Yeah, they do have the uniform on. This might be them. You can't quite recognize everybody who's in the guild, but eyesight. But
Right.
the uniform's color palette's pretty unmistakable.
Once it kind of registers in her head that this is the uniform of her guild, she kind of stumbles backwards a little bit and just horrified. Can I tell how they died? Can I roll or something?
Sure.
Or
give me a
how
perception check.
unconscious death? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, give me an investigation check on how they died.
Okay. Make sure I have the proficiency. That's investigation. Oh, that's right. That's 6. God, Shanti, I love you. Oh, that's a 25.
25. It seems like there's no uniform way in which they all died. They just kind of seems like miscellaneous damage to the bodies, bleeding here, misshapen body placement there, broken bones of some kind, and a generally very dead look on their faces. But it doesn't seem like there's really any cohesive, they all died in one specific way sort of way.
Got it. Okay. Yeah,
And-
Shanti kind of stumbles back onto you know how the crab walk they used to make you do in PE, Was that just me? Am I the only one that got
What?
tortures?
Yo, I fucking love crab walks. You shut the fuck up.
Okay, well, you're not
That shit was
you're not
fire.
so physically disabled that any kind of fucking exercise makes you heave. But
Okay, fair
she
enough.
kind of like scrambles backward like that and is just like, what the fuck is going on? Why are my people dead? What am I seeing? Because she sees the future in her dream, so this is scaring her a little bit.
All I imagine now is this Shanti doing the crab walk, and I can't get off my head. So I'm doing the claw thing.
Just like the Grudge.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The crab
She
walk.
has all like the dress on.
Oh my god.
And so
Alex, write that down.
you start to, as the fog further recedes, you can see that figure from before with its back turned to you again. And they're standing closer towards like where the staircase is, the entrance of this area.
You said that they looked kind of like my mom, right?
Yeah, this silhouette's really setting off your you know who that is vibes.
Shanti is going to basically scramble back to her feet and sprint for that figure and just go, Mom!
You do that, but this time, you instead of the fog doing anything, you almost feel like something tackles you from outside your sight, and then you feel yourself falling back through darkness once again.
Well, that's fucking rude.
Yeah. And now, moving back to Group A,
Yay.
and Kolvar speaks up and says, well, if you're not going to leave, then at least stand by a bit patiently. None of us are going anywhere without my abilities. So, just a moment. He wanders over towards Brock, where he's holding Shanti. And actually, he has the space here, so he's just going to be like, don't mind me. And he holds his hands up.
Very confused as to who the fuck this guy is.
He
My
is
question looks over to the group, but he does nothing.
he's somebody. And he seems to hold his hands up towards the gemstone without touching it. And it seems like something's starting to appear in front of him that looks a bit like a rift as he's kind of working on it. And he's just kind of doing that for a bit. Seems like he's straining and straining. And eventually kind of does this sort of tearing motion, like in Bioshock Infinite when the girl opens up like rifts. And a very odd looking portal opens up at the side of this gem. And he goes, alright then. If I can't make you all leave, then we're doing this the hard way. Everyone, let's get to it. I hope all the former higher-ups of Vestia can live up to their names. They might not be all there, but I promise you.
Did you resurrect dead people?
Yes, I resurrected dead people. That's what happened.
I
But
can
don't
see
worry.
dead people.
Why, that's kind of rude.
They weren't exactly using their bodies. But by now, and he jumps backwards through the portal, and then
Bye, Herbert.
you see the Goliath quickly charge over towards here and like keep his back towards the portal. And then everybody give me an initiative roll.
Oh, baby. All right.
Oh, baby, an initiative. I just get to sit here and make commentary like a Brazilian soccer commentator.
Makeshift open.
Nah, you need more
Open
energy.
the thing.
And, oh,
So do I?
Before we do.
Yep.
oh yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not roll 20. That's the Twitch. Let me just go back there.
The Twitch.
Oh, and
I was like, why is it my token? Oh wait, that's a Twitch chat. That's not. And roll in. Let's see what we got. Come on. Baby needs a new triple. Baby, let's go.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, is my number 9 there?
Oh, what the fuck? Mars is fast. Never mind.
No, yours is. You have a 19.
Yeah, but on the turn order thing.
You'll get
Mars
one.
is dead.
Yeah,
enemies.
it took probably the one from last combat. Let him input that by hand.
That is the fastest.
Yeah.
Oh, he still needs to input you.
Oh, look, guys,
The
I can show
enemies
you
and
the turn
Jonathan?
order.
Get an 8. Let's see here. Snade, rolling huge. Henry gets the same as Brock. So 9.
Mission to get rid of him. He goes on the same.
Zendel
turn.
getting a whole ass 22. And that was far faster than me writing them all down.
You're missing an Azim.
Yeah, you're missing Asm.
Indeed, I am.
He got a 19.
Got a
You're
19.
missing a Psalm.
Also, I think the Goliath
There you
and
go.
the other
Speaking-
dwarf.
Might as well just have them go at the same time as the Goliath. Make it easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give them all the same initiative order because
Okay.
I cannot be bothered.
Fair enough.
It's going to go in order of height. That's all I'll say about it.
His laziness.
Wow, how short is Jonathan?
Yes.
Oh no, the enemies.
Oh, okay, cool.
Jonathan, I don't know, he's probably like 5, 6, 8, something like that.
God damn it, even Jonathan's taller than Shanti. Fuck.
Damn.
So that's why I stay with Brock all the time, to have someone that's shorter than her.
Aw, you know she loves you.
Actually-
It's not just the height thing.
Since their abilities, they are actually like PCs technically. I should probably roll them all separately. So give me a
Just have him go with the... Okay.
1d20.
Fucking 3.
All right. They rolled poorly, and this one's rolling.
Let's see my options.
12, not too bad.
Ooh.
They go here. All right. And now, let's start combat. Sinead. These zomboys. Oh yeah, he's a +2. But he's already way up there. Oh wait, that does put him. Oh yeah, there we go. So he's actually right here. Okay, Sinead. What do you do to these zomboys? Now that they are guarding the way
Okay.
between you and the stone.
Let's see here. Going to run up to this person,
You do that.
and I'm going to smack you.
Okay. Alright.
The dwarf looks up at you like expressionless, and you absolutely fucking smite them. You hit them.
Fat oof. Is that... That's a 29 to hit?
But then your second attack skims off of them and doesn't manage to hit.
28
And-
damage, goddamn.
As you bring down your weapon, you deal a devastating strike to them when they're surprised. Well, kind of surprised. Not quite ready for the big boy sword to hit them. Deal a solid amount of damage to them. Actually, wait, I can just track this on their character sheets.
Yeah, I didn't put their character sheets in, bub.
I cannot do it on their character sheets because they're not my character sheets, so I'm just gonna keep it here.
I gave you edit permission.
I
what?
can do it.
Oh, I'm looking at their character sheets, but it won't let me like type in numbers to damage them.
I gave you edit permission. Nunny the frick?
No, on D&D Beyond.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I'm looking at their character sheets.
I know things.
And is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Word. All right. It is now Zendel's turn.
No, just to be clear here, where are the targets? Because they all seem to blend in. The back.
Okay,
Here's one.
Borgit.
Here's two.
1, 2,
Here's three.
Borgit.
and 3.
Just try not to hit me. I'm unconscious.
And you. Oh, you know what? You know,
Same place as me.
I mean, I'm not gonna
Gosh.
hit you yet. But, well, you might not get hit. Who knows? But you know,
Oh no.
I tell the guy in front of me, like, you know, they say I have a elongated musk, and can I use my reaction right now?
Did you just say you
musk.
have an elongated musk?
Yes, and it's the hail of
Muskrat.
spores. He's gonna feel it today.
Oh my god.
You do that. Give me an elongated musk roll.
Let's see.
Roll
what
for
we
that spore damage.
get. They have to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Let me get out the colorful dice for them.
The colorful dice. Gotta give that wide range of painful reactions. Unless he doesn't get hit.
Hail spores DC is. You said it was
Oh.
16, right?
16, yeah. Come on.
It's a con save, right?
It's a con save.
And you're doing it to the big old Goliath with the
The Book of Goliath.
great axe.
Wait a minute. Yeah, let's take the risk. It's a Goliath.
I'm
yeah.
gonna go on a limb here and say he passed that save because his constitution is wild.
Damn.
So yeah.
Well,
Now he got a 15, and then his modifier is like plus 12.
all right.
Saves.
What?
Proof.
Yeah, these guys are homebrewed in a very particular way.
Of course they are. Well, there goes my reaction. So, yeah, this. I'll make it more direct. I'll breathe it in him. Poison spray.
You
wanna
do
shoot
that.
his face?
Another.
Extend your hand towards a creature you can see within range and project a puff of noxious gas from your palm. The creature must succeed in a Constitution saving throw, or take 1d12 poison damage. Instead of trying to attack him, another con save. Let's see if he makes it.
Let's even makes it this time.
Oh, hey.
It's probably not.
He actually didn't make that.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Roll 1d12.
Well, that damage.
I don't think there's any modifiers and add-ons to the damage, so.
Nope.
Alright. 9.
9 damage.
Yeah, okay, that's 9.
And alright, he takes 9 damage.
And as a bonus action, I'd use. God knows how to pronounce this, but shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
That was correct. You pronounced it correctly. Good job.
Oh, under me kill. Oh, yeah, I can't pronounce that.
That's Scottish, you right git.
Okay, got that.
Plug my horn.
You
Stop putting
You
shillelagh up your ass. No.
you shillelagh your spear, and the crack in it. The crack in it
And then
seems to get a little glowy.
Yeah. And I put my spear in defense position. I end my turn.
Face down defense mode. That reminds me of a really awful joke I heard about Yu-Gi-Oh, which I won't repeat on stream.
Yeah.
Ask me about it later.
Yeah.
And so, that's the end of Zendel's turn. We're moving to Streaky.
Oh boy, it's me. Okay,
It's
so
you.
just to double check,
Hi.
this dude over here is the big boy.
Yeah, he's a big old Goliath. This person here is a tiefling. And this person here is a dwarf.
I see. So they're big. So I'm gonna move to the big man.
You can move
Shit.
here. You're just
Yeah.
underneath like a lantern.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
One more. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. And I'm gonna be a simple-minded boy and use my sword.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
That's a
Mm.
fucking
My
crit.
God, the natural 20.
There we go, baby.
Oh,
Show me
a
that damage.
fucking nat 20.
Whoosh.
6 plus 4, and then that gives you double damage because that's how I do crits. So you deal
Mhm.
20 damage.
Yeah.
Hot. I'm gonna call that a
Nice.
fat hot.
Then I'm gonna
And-
also punch up.
Word. Bonus attack or extra attack. Let's
Yeah.
see it, baby.
Punch. Fuck.
Does that hit? That does not.
Okay. Just out of curiosity. Okay.
We'll just patted him
Pretty
real
high.
hard on his big
Yeah.
himbo chest.
Let's just say, like, I was running towards, like, I'm assuming that pillar where the lamp is attached to is just like a tall pillar. As it runs
Yes.
up to the pillar, jumps off it, and does a spinning slash on the dude. And then as to try to do a second time, like, punch him as well at the same time, but just completely misses.
Eh.
Yeah.
It
like
is also
too much
worth
strain.
reminding you, you've only used key points like once in the campaign, so if you
Yeah,
want to go
point, I-
for
And I have 10.
if you want to go for Fury of Blows to get some more damage, go right ahead.
Yeah, let me just put Fury of Blows here just so like people could see
Punch them.
where the
Punch them hard.
fuck is. Fuck it, I'm just gonna spend a key point. So now I have 9 key points, and I will punch again.
Roll to attack.
Go fuck yourself.
A dirty 20. I got bad news for you.
God damn it.
That doesn't hit.
No fucking way. Mars!
Oh, wait, hang on. You do have advantage because he's surrounded right now.
Haha.
Mars,
So
the
you can roll
fuck
again.
did you do?
I can roll again with
These
like
guys are
no
really powerful.
with like no caution whatsoever. Just
I am
okay.
so scared of these fuckers. I'm very glad I'm
Never mind.
unconscious right now.
Flare of Blow skips 2 attacks. As well.
Go for another
that's
punch,
cool.
but it seems just kind of
It just whooshes
skim
again.
past him as he kind of like the punch kind of skims along him as he like dodges a little bit, and it.
What am I
does
trying to
get him.
fight Muhammad Ali? Fucking whooshing punches.
This dude's apparently the former like first knight of Vestia, so he's no joke. This guy's bringing the smoke.
Fucking has
Bringing
arms.
the smoke. I've never heard that phrase before.
And now it's the turn of these
I
people.
think Asm has one more attack, right?
Oh, he used key blows.
gives
No,
two?
I used my first attack to Dow Sword. I used my second unarmed, which cost nothing. Then I try to use a key point, which was the unarmored 20, and then just because of surrounded advantage, unarmored 9, which both
Yeah, but
didn't
doesn't
work.
give Flurry of Blows 2 attacks? Or am I fucky?
I'm trying to find where I have flurry of blows.
Should I look up Monk? 1 second.
Yeah.
Make 2 unarmored strikes. Yep. You got 2.
Oh, I got a second chance.
So yeah, you get a second attack with advantage.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna try to punch again.
You do
very
that.
I'm very determined. Never mind.
I think you still have advantage.
Yep, you do.
Let's try this again.
Yeah, you don't hit him.
Oh my god.
Thanks for giving me positivity though, yes.
I tried.
Sliver of
Okay.
hope.
And now, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I don't want to spend more key points. I guess I'll just go in a defensive stance with my sword since I ended with a unarmored attack.
And now, the dwarf that was attacked by Sinead, they spring into action, and they clasp their hands together above their head and hold them out, and a cloud appears in the room around you, and it starts crackling with electricity. It's floating right around. Let me draw a circle for you. Around here-ish. As this cylindrical cloud appears above all of you, and it's like crackling with electricity. Please let me move this square. That's not the thing I was trying to click. Come on, roll 20. Whatever, that's staying right there now. And as they cast Call Lightning at, where is this thing? Here we go. A storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder. That's 10 feet. When you cast a spell and choose a point you can see under the cloud, bolt of lightning flashes down. Okay, so on the first turn it does make a attack with lightning. Duration. Sinead, give me a dex save. You make that dex save real hard. That was a crit. So, since it was a crit, instead of just half damage, I'll say it's like quarter damage. Because I like crits on skill checks or DCs.
Crits are hot.
Roll the damage dice for me. Program that I'm looking at. That would be cool. Come on. I want to do the thing. Hang on. Do I click here? No. This one. Please roll the dice. I know there's an animation here.
He's trying
Okay,
so hard.
I'm rolling them in roll 20.
Got it.
Was it D8s? Or D10s? $20 damage from lightning, and you take 5 damage from that. As a bolt of lightning careens down from the sky, its aim was a little bit off, and you managed to kind of juke a bit to the side, and it only really like hits you in the leg. Still hurts a good amount though. And then they will end their turn. So they don't want to give an opportunity attack. Ugh. And then it's Big Boy's turn. He turns towards Streaky. And he is going to swing that axe. What's your armor class? Oop. He hit. Yeah, base he rolled an 18. Yes. He isn't a size class above you, though. Wait,
Is he?
are Goliaths a size class
Are
above
Goliaths-
humans?
They have powerful builds,
Yeah.
so for like
Lights are considered medium.
they're medium.
Goliaths are medium? Yeah, you can't deflect this guy. He's not, like, big enough.
Is he?
And so he's going to bring down his weapon. And he is going to deal. Where's his character sheet? I have
Big
like
damage.
3 open. He deals 20 damage on hit.
Oh.
Monks have a lot of features, you might. I think most of the monk stuff is reducing damage on deck saves. Alright, you take 20 damage, and then he goes in for another attack. That definitely hits. You said your armor class was 15, right? Yeah, he hits.
Don't
He's
worry,
going-
ask him, I will heal you.
And he deals 19 damage. Yep. This is why these people were able to kidnap you from the Feywild.
Shit.
And now it's Brock and Henry's turn.
Right. Seeing as shit is escalating, I will call over Henry and say, take her, keep her close, keep her safe.
He does that, and I'll just say that doesn't cost your action because that's
Yeah.
probably did that as the stuff was going on.
Yes, very much so. You said these fuckers are reanimated?
Yes, these are revived corpses.
And
For the most part,
they are
they can be
very
considered-
clearly... Oh,
Yeah, they can be considered undead.
but they're very clearly kept alive by a spell.
Not necessarily. It's if they are being kept alive by these don't look like any undead you've seen before or read about. So something's keeping them alive, but it might not just be like a spell. It's hard to tell exactly. Because that Kolvar was this portal that he's opened up is something strange looking. You've never seen magic like that before.
I see. No, then no dispel magic. If I'm not sure what the fuck it is, I'm not gonna fuck around in a way that I don't know. I am going to cast Haste onto myself, as I am now slightly pissed at the entire situation.
You do that.
Which gives me a +2 to my AC. Already have that.
Ooh.
Means gives me advantage on deck saves, double move speed, and an additional action which I can immediately use to fucking attack the guy, which I will do.
You do that. Give me that attack roll with advantage.
Right. That.
Oh, that's
Jesus.
unfortunate.
14 twice.
So as you attack action once dash. Wait, it says has advantage on dexterity and it gains an additional action on each of its turns.
Yes.
Okay, it says parentheses one weapon attack only, so it understood what my question was going to be, which was if that's an action, do you get multi-attack? Which no, it says you don't.
I don't. No.
Okay, yeah. So, in your frustration, the hammer seems like the Goliath kind of like sidesteps the swipes as they're sort of like aimed at his hip. He just sort of out of the way of the swing. And unfortunately, you miss him. And is that the end of your turn?
Anything with a bonus action? No. Yes, that's the end of my turn.
Alright. And then Jonathan's gonna move over this way to be in touch range of Zendel, and he's going to use Eldritch Blast on the
Okay.
Tiefling. Does he hit? Holy crap, they actually hit, folks. Let's roll that damage. It's like the third time he's hit in the campaign. 5. Nice. He deals 5 damage to them. He needs to do some more training. Still quite the level. And now, that's the end of his turn. And he also has a Elric's sword unsheathed, the wooden one. And now it's the Tiefling's turn. Let's see what she's got. And after Jonathan fires that Eldritch Blast at her, the Tiefling silently turns their attention toward him, and they raise up their hand, and they cast Scorching Ray. Create 3 rays of fire and hurl them at a target within range. You can hurl them at one target with several, make a range attack. Target takes 2d6. Do they beat his AC? They absolutely beat his AC. They roll a 16. And he takes
Fuck ton of damage.
4 damage. That's
Oh.
actually a lot less than I expected. Isn't it? You create 3 rays of fire and hurl them at a target within range. Make a ranged spell attack for each ray. Okay. That one hits. And the last one was a 1. So one of those is not hitting. Okay, 4 damage again. He takes 8 total damage.
Not nice.
And he winces from the scorching pain that licks at his skin. These burn marks. And now, as the end of initiative, before we go back to the top, let's take a look back at what Shanti's doing over in the dream world.
Hi.
Shanti, once again, you have that feeling of like you were falling, but then kind of stops. And
Stops
as you
where?
finish that falling, you seem to be in kind of you're standing on like in this wasteland on a marble podium, and around you see the people that you've been adventuring with, and they're all kind of standing in a circle. You see Brock, you see, I almost said Shanti, even though that's you. See Azim, see Zendel. In the center, you can see what looks to be Sinead standing in the center. But it's not quite her. You know how like when you see people in dreams, you can kind of tell that they don't look quite the same?
Right.
You know it's like kind of supposed to be them.
I'm going to approach Sinead and like reach out to try and touch on her shoulder.
You do that. Reach over towards her, And as you do that, Mars, do you want me just to voice act this? Are you fine with that?
I will message you.
Word. With a voice that you don't quite recognize, because it's not the artificial one that you recognize from in the material world.
Hmm.
The voice is very different than what you recall. As soon as I... So you do want me to voice act this for you, Mars? Or do you want to do it? Oh, okay. The voice is haunting, and they say, "This is inevitable."
Inevitable.
As they sort of gesture at the world around them in this massive wasteland.
Nothing's inevitable. Every path, every future can be changed. That's the first thing we're taught.
So you think. And after that brief snippet, we're switching back to combat.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Sinead. Yeah, I'm looking at the notes. They're a little bit all over the place, but don't worry. I got a handle on this. And, Sinead, it is now your turn in combat. What do you do? Make a thing right
All
here.
right, you motherfuck with a name I cannot pronounce, but I remember your name because I actually cared about you, unlike that guy who just disappeared.
Okay.
What's his name? Winston? I don't know. And you bring down your sword, and you hit, meeting their armor class. The second one also very much hits. That beat their armor class. Roll that damage. I need to take out my calculator to make sure I don't mess this up. Then add on the pre-existing damage. Ah, nice. Their damage is at the funny number.
Nice.
Nice. And is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Word. It is now Zendel's turn.
Yes. Glide's still in front of me, right?
Yes.
Well, let's make this a bit easier. Hold person.
See within range. Concentration up to 1 minute. Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. During a seat of wisdom saving throw. Be paralyzed for the duration. Let's see what he's got. He's got bad wisdom.
That's what I was hoping for.
He has no wisdom.
That's what I was hoping for.
You have discovered the weakness of barbarians. Let's see if he makes the save. 10. He rolled a 10. He did not make it.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So, I'll use some, what do you got here? Oh, right. Meta magic. Quickened spell. Wait, was it?
I'm pretty sure
Here.
being paralyzed, it gives you, isn't it? You automatically hit. I think.
Well, no. Paralyzed. Incapacitated, you can't move. Creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls have advantage, and any attack that hits within a critical hits its crit if you're 5 feet. So people around him are boom, boom, pow. You know what I'm saying?
So the attacks are at advantage, but they automatically crit.
If you're like 5 feet next to him, so yeah.
Word. He is about to get swashbuckled. So give me some
Uh-huh.
attack rolls.
I do meta magic, so I make it quicken spell. So that means, where the hell is it? Where's there's primal savagery. That's not a bonus action.
Primal savagery. 1 action. It only takes a bonus action now?
I
Meta magic.
spent meta magic points to make it a bonus action
Oh, word.
for this turn only. So yeah.
Word.
That's,
Give me an attack roll.
God damn. That's
Word.
That's roll plus your modifier, right? Or attack bonus, right?
Yes.
Spell attack bonus. Okay. 1d20 plus 8. Please be, baby. Does that hit?
Make it with advantage.
Oh right.
I feel like it might be double advantage. 'Cause you're surrounded.
Oh, right.
and-
Surrounded and. That's 2 more rolls, I think.
So let's just call it like 3d20, highest of the 3.
Oh my god. Oh,
Because
well, that's
the
fine.
2 pairs and the highest of the 2 pairs kind of bothers me.
26.
There's the hit.
Woo! Okay.
So as you swipe at him, you manage to dig your acid claw into him. Roll for damage.
Roll for damage.
And, like, this dude's
Cool.
dense. His muscle tissue feels like it's nearly stone.
She's spongy. Very spongy. Okay, let's see here. 2d10.
4d10 because it's an automatic crit, right?
Is that how it works?
2d10,
Or is
then
it-
multiply the damage by 2. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay, so-
Yeah. my bad.
Not that. 120 then.
You poke your hands through the back of his skull and he dies. No. Saitama here.
12 damage times 2. That's 24.
Ooh.
Whooshy finger.
24 damage. Again,
And then
grab
I
the
also use my
calculator.
reaction for another hail of spores. Well, I don't know if it'll work, but let's try. Constitution.
Constitution saving throw. He's got to make that. Does he have disadvantage on that?
No, it's just strength and dexterity, so I don't think so.
Oh, so yeah, we'll see if he makes it. He definitely made it. He passed that one.
And I
Worth a
understand.
try though.
Yeah, worth it.
All right, that's the end of Zendel's. It's now Streaky's turn.
Come on, you can do it.
Yes.
Yes. Low 8, he can crit. Do it. Do the guts, you got 10 shots.
Oh fuck, I forgot to heal him.
Well, a bit too late for that.
Don't worry. I planned on having Jonathan give him a pat on the back.
Well, since my turn is done, I'll be right back.
Mhm.
Don't go anywhere, folks. Jed
Roll
will
with
be
advantage.
Right back.
Oh my god.
Roll with advantage to see if it see if you crit, because that does hit. I just want to see if you crit.
It's auto crit. Paralyzed.
I don't know. I want to see if it's like 220s though, to see if like he double crits. Okay, you just managed to hit him. I was getting close though. So you deal. You're getting close to a double crit, but it's just regular crits. So with your attack, use multi-attack, I presume. Because you rolled twice.
I
Or
thought you
you
said that
did
was
the damage.
advantage.
Oh no, because you rolled the damage twice, which is why I was confused. So 10
Oh,
damage.
sorry. No, I just did it. So, yeah, just do
Ah.
the first one.
Yep,
That's the
you deal
first.
10 damage, so 20 damage.
Now here's the thing. Trip attack.
What attack?
Trip attack. The third dash in Martial Adept. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expand one superiority.
Want to attempt to knock them down?
Yes.
Damage roll. If the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, it's knocked prone. I feel like it's going to make that a disadvantage because it is currently paralyzed. And Big Boy is a Goliath.
For me or him.
For him. So you can attempt to knock him down. He's paralyzed right now.
Hell yeah. Okay, what do I have to do?
The Goliath has to make a strength save against
okay.
your superiority save.
Okay.
So roll for that, and I will look at his.
His is just 8 plus proficiency plus dexterity.
You got to beat an 18.
Is there one die I have to click here, or is just I put numbers together?
It's put numbers together. At the very top, the DCs are 8 plus proficiency plus dexterity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It should be 12 plus dexterity at your level.
Dexterity. Hold on, let me make sure I count this right. $19.
19. You managed to beat him.
Yeah.
So he is knocked prone. So he is now prone, paralyzed, and surrounded.
Yeah, that's what you get for fucking damage being like 50.
It is now this dwarf's turn, who is going to once again call down lightning onto Sinead. Sinead, give me a dexterity saving throw. You managed to make the dexterity saving throw, and so you take half damage when this lightning bolt hits you. Which is going to be the 4d10. And you take 7 damage. And then, if I'm not mistaken, doors. Storm pierced cylinder, center drop point you can see. Creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on failed save. As much damage on the second one. Oh, it uses the action to call down a lightning bolt. Okay, fine, that's their action. And then I thought I also had an attack action after that for them. They're going to... Disengaging is just a bad idea for them, so they're going to stay right there. And they also can't effectively disengage, since they don't have their action. So their turn is done. It is now this guy on the floor. What save does he have to make to break free of the hold person?
Wisdom, I think, again? Zendel? Wait, no, he left.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, I'm back. What I miss?
Perfect timing. What's
happening? What do you... A whole person at the end of the turn, you have the wisdom again.
Wisdom again. Let's see if he makes its DC 15, 14.
Spell attack modifier. Well, spell attack. It's spell. Wait a second. It's spell save DC 16, right? For me.
Word. Let's see if he makes it. He got a 6. He did not make
well.
it.
That's gonna be a no, my good man.
Indeed it is. And now it's Brock's turn.
How much advantage do I have on this attack?
I'll just say it's double advantage. I cannot be bothered to keep on stacking stuff.
Okay,
So roll 3d20s, and if one of them hits, you hit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
3d20. Plus 8 is my attack modifier. That is 24 at its highest.
Yes, you hit him.
Alright. Let me just...
Get ready for double damage. Come on.
Oh, it's also an auto crit. Right, roll.
Yes. Unless you're more than 5 feet.
No, I'm standing right next to him.
Yeah, I know. Wait, unless you're 5 feet.
That is
But yeah, you're gonna smash
2d8 plus 2d6 from Arcane Jolt plus 1 from my intelligence modifier.
Calculating up all the damage. Nice. And then
That
doubled
is
at the end.
16. Yes, that is 32.
So you know when you're at like a carnival and you like hit the thing that rings the bell? You kind of did something like that. Where you just bring down your hammer and just...
Long.
and you bring it down right on his chest. And it seems to hurt him pretty badly.
It
Right,
should.
It's my first attack. I have to do that
Make
2
it
more
hurt.
times.
Oh. You can attack 3 times in a turn?
I have haste.
Oh, that's right.
That is a 20 at its highest for that one.
That doesn't hit him.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's big.
But he's on the
Fucking
ground.
ricochets off, hammer still vibrating, tries it again, just hits the fucking floor next to him. Whoa. A lot of
And with
recoil.
haste, going in for another attack. Yeah, those don't hit.
Those don't hit. At all.
Those are some initiative rolls right there.
Jesus Christ. 2, 3, and 4.
Welcome to my world.
And once again, it seems like your attack kind of hits some of the armor around his chest, but it kind of skims off as you smack into the ground as it bounces away. So this guy he's like hitting stone, even though he's made out of flesh. And Henry gets a turn. If you want him to do anything.
He very much protects Shanti. Getting into taking a dodge action, I guess.
Thanks, Dad.
Nice. And then it is now Jonathan's turn. Who, keeping close to Zendel, he's going to turn his attention on the dwarf who is currently attacking Sinead. He's going to cast another Eldritch Blast.
Healing as well.
Oh, yep, I forgot that is what his goal was. He's going to move here, and he is going to cast... where is it? I know this is one of his traits. Lay on hands, and he's going to give you 10 hit points. That's it. That's
Listen. You're there.
you last streaky?
Sorry. I was sending a message. Blanked out.
You have gotten 10 hit points, and I just lost 10 hit points as I broke my neck a moment ago.
You get
I have-
healed.
I have 8 health.
Oh no!
You get healed, not damaged. You get healed.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
No die.
I heard the like panic in his voice there. That was hilarious.
I have 8 health. I'm like, whoa! What kind of heal is that? 16.
26. BB. Re-rising deck.
So how much HP do you have
I
right now?
got so scared for a second. I'm like, as I was dying.
Or it's a love tap, not a damage tap, right? You-
It's a love tap, not a highway to hell.
Death.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not dad's frying pan. No, it's
What should be the chocolate?
Jet, do we need to have a chat? You good?
don't worry, I can only dodge it for so long.
Oh no.
Zoom.
I keep this sound for trauma.
Oh my god.
What force? Trauma.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
It is now the tiefling's turn, who is going to see as I'm getting healed, think to themselves, yeah, that one. Is going to walk right here and
That fleshy one.
cast. Yep, clearly he's the one in danger.
I'm in danger.
And is going to cast this. Magic missile.
Missile.
Where is this?
That thing is not missing.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like flat damage.
Hmm.
At 4th level. So it's going to do 3 extra darts on top of. So it's 6 total darts that do 1d4 plus 1 force damage. / roll 1d4. It's going to be 6d4 plus 6. He deals 20, or she deals 20 damage to you.
Me?
Yes.
Now hold on. You said it was missiles. Boom.
I know the name, but these aren't that kind of missile. I'm really sorry. Wait, hang on, let me read this first. Starting at 3rd level, you can use your reaction to deflect or catch the missile. When
Deflect
you
is
are
reducing
hit
the
by a
damage,
ranged
so.
attack, when you do so, the damage take. Yeah, this. I know the name is missile, but magic missile is just unavoidable darts of magic that only like a shield spell avoids. Unless this says anything about magic missile in it. But yeah, you can't catch
I don't know.
magic
It really
missile.
just says missiles, so it's like,
Yeah, it means
Yeah,
any
it's-
sort of projectile.
Yeah, projectile ranged attacks like arrows and cannonballs and whatnot.
Yeah, when it's those, you can catch them and throw them back.
I gain any health, and I lose. Hold on, wait. Can I just quick hop? I feel like I have an evade, something that I could probably use. Wait.
No, your evasion goes against dex saves. Magic missile.
There's literally like
Take
2
most.
things total that stop magic missile, and I don't think you have either.
It's Bruise of Shielding and the shield spell.
Yeah, I don't have.
And then this
Oh,
tiefling
boy.
lady is going to disappear from there in a flash and appear
I have 6 health.
right here on the other side of this crystal. Where there's still some walking space to get over to them, but they're now
Wow.
over here. And it's currently 8:30. Do you guys want to take a quick 5-minute break?
Yeah.
We can. It's
Don't
possible.
go anywhere.
If you want to. That's the end of initiative before we start doing other stuff.
Okay.
Probably a good
Yeah,
space
yeah.
to take a quick break. Okay, everyone, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break so people can go pee and get food.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to grab ice cream.
Nice.
Yeah.
We will be right back. We are back. The fucking Family Guy music. Jed, no!
God.
We are back, and I'm gonna hand it immediately over to Makeshift.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. And now, switching back over to Group B, which is Shanti back in the dream world.
Group B, yeah.
Yeah, whole group of individuals. Plural, if you will.
Yeah, my dead guild members, thanks for that.
all those corpses technically makes this a group.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes.
As the scene from the before fades from your mind, well, not your mind, it fades from your view. You see yourself sitting in Snade's office. Like, the scenes are getting more rapidly changing, and it feels like you keep descending deeper and deeper into something, but you can't quite tell what's going on. And for a moment, you're sitting back in Snade's office, and she's sitting across from you and says, "You think you can save me? You think you can prevent me from becoming a tyrant? Prevent the destruction of reality? Can't even escape from this nightmare."
Shanti is incredibly stunned by how quickly things are starting to change. And once she hears Sinead, she kind of like whips her head towards her, just stares at her for a second, and it's just like, I can at least try. What kind of person would I be if I didn't try?
She seems to grimace for a moment and close her eyes. And she snaps her fingers. And the reality around you once again fades, and now the falling is becoming... It's starting to feel more like actually falling. But it's happening more and more frequently as well.
I don't like
And
that.
then...
Why can I actually feel that pit in my stomach? I don't like that. Stop it.
It's all in the description.
Okay.
And then, as the falling once again halts for a moment, you can see yourself inside your childhood bedroom. And your mother is sitting nearby. She speaks as you're laying down in bed. "Wake up, Shanti. Wake up. Leave this nightmare."
Sean, am I laying in bed? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you're laying in bed and you hear that.
I quickly sit up and kind of turn towards where her mom's voice is coming from, and she just... Mom?
You see a figure sitting across the room from you, in a spot that's similar to the desk that your mother would sit at.
Mom.
And it does look exactly like the woman that you saw in the other universe.
I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to approach her. Quickly.
You do that, rushing over to her. And for a moment, you feel a bit more stable. The falling feeling kind of disappears. The world seems a bit quieter.
Mom, I don't understand what's going on.
I know, my dear. But don't worry. I'll always be with you. I'm going to get you out of this. And as she's talking, it seems like her mouth isn't really matching up with what she's saying. Like, you can tell, like, the facial movements kind of indicate she's talking, but the speech doesn't seem like it's coming from her, the one in front of you. And her voice becomes more muffled. You can hardly hear what she's starting to make out now. You can just barely hear her say something like, "You just have to," before the dialogue seems to cease, and the falling feeling returns once again.
She tries to, like, reach out and grasp for her mom as, like, everything starts to get all misty and shit.
You try and do that, but she just kind of slips right through your fingers like you were grasping at sand or air. And all of what you saw before fades away as you're back falling through darkness once again.
Fuck.
And then Let's switch over to combat again.
Oh boy.
There's another story beat right after that.
Oh boy.
Back at the top of the order, Sinead, what you gonna do?
Look. I do not want to keep attacking you. You're reasonable, I know you, you know me. You're smart, you are one of the smartest people. Look, we can just talk this out.
She doesn't seem to say anything, but you can clearly tell from the facial expression. She almost looks down, like almost in shame, as she's looking down at her weapon, and at her hand, which is crackling with electricity. She seems to take a deep breath and stare you down once again. It seems they're resolved in what they're doing for some reason or another.
Look. I know you were probably happy in the afterlife or whatever, and Winston or Churchill or whatever his name is just dragged you back here to fulfill whatever sick purpose he has. But I don't want to hurt you. We were friends, yeah.
You hear them respond, I know. And that's why I'm sorry as well. Their grip tightens on their weapon.
Okay. So I'm not going to hurt you this time, I'm just going to heal. Ass ham.
You heal ass ham? Goddamn.
That's what it sounded like to me. I was like, great, now I'm ass ham.
Ass ham, ass ham. We cut open your cheeks and we get the best meat.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Now let's not go too far.
I don't like where this is going.
So roll up that that healing value from, I assume, healing word.
I'm looking for my healing spells.
Please be a big one. Please.
Got some freshly filtered water out of my fridge.
Glad you're enjoying that water.
Don't forget to stretch your fingers, chat. This is how I do it. Just gently bend them back.
Let's see. Okay.
There you go.
What is 9 plus 7? 15. You are healed 15.
Azim, you regained 15 hit points.
Yay. I won't use it.
Would you like to be healed with a joke?
Okay.
If it can actually heal me.
Hit him with the funny.
Do you want it? I can give you a joke. It might not be
Hit him with the funny.
it might not be very timely. Maybe too soon.
Go for it.
Why
Laugh the
didn't-
pain away.
Why didn't the man go to the funeral?
Why?
Because he wasn't a mourning person.
God.
Makeshift. Can Briar roll to see if that joke
kills-
actually healed me?
Give me a
Please?
roll 2d20 for psychic
A
damage.
giant 2d20 of psychic damage.
I said heal me, not kill me. Heal me.
Oh, you did say heal me. I thought kill me. I
Oh
was
my
like, damn,
God.
You really want to know? Was it that bad?
Acid just goes, that's funny.
Sure, because I think that's hilarious. Roll 1d4.
No,
See
no
if
way.
you-
From the
Come
beyond,
on.
even Shanti can be useful.
Come on.
Laugh the pain away. Laugh the pain away.
You just remember a joke Kellen told you.
At least you don't laugh too hard when it hurts, you know?
My spleen would have come out if I laughed too hard.
You just go, ha! And then it's like, oh shit, there went my kidney.
Yeah. I'm not that damaged. That
It hurts to laugh.
You heal 1 hit point from that joke from the beyond.
You're welcome.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy. It's literally that meme of like the person drowning with their hand out of the water. Who gets, like,
High
Oh
five.
boy, 3 a.m.
Yes.
Oh boy, 22.
So
Yay.
you get healed miraculously for 1 extra HP because for some reason you let off a little giggle.
My little chuckle. Just
It is now Zendel's turn.
Where's Azim again?
I am
Right here.
Okay.
yeah, right here.
I'm gonna give you the touch.
Now, hold on a second. Here in the open, in front of everyone.
Well, not that. Yeah, whatever. Let's just go. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. At higher level. Oh, okay. I can technically use a higher. Let's see. You're in what HP right now? Non-existent, right?
I'm 22.
You
Out of
also have to be
57.
you have to be touching him, so you'll have to be where Jonathan's standing. You can push him out of the way because he's willing.
I mean, isn't he over here? I'm right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's diagonal.
like-
It's 10 feet.
God damn it.
So you can just switch places with Jonathan. That's fine.
Jonathan is we tag team down to spin. All right, I switch out of the way, or he goes out of the way. Whatever. Yeah, we switch places. All
There
right.
you go.
Okay, Venal to D6. Okay, and then you know what? I'm probably never gonna use this, so let's use a 5th level spell slot.
Cool.
So that's
Big healing.
big healing.
Rolls
You
of 1.
will-
I was gonna say, watch this all be minimum healing.
I swear to God. It'd be funny, but also like, goddamn. This is the game they make shit want Asim to die.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 48. Am I right? Or 5D. Is it? No, wait.
5th level spell, 1d8 more for your spell slot above it. So that's 4 extra d8. So 5 total d8.
Okay, that's right. This is confirming that. Someone dumbass.
Please
5D8.
be big boy numbers.
I don't know if it's affected by attack. So see. No, just normal. All right. 24.
Congratulations, you are now gay.
I mean. Well, okay.
Oh my god.
Just add that. What else can I do? I guess gonna fart on the enemy again.
Yeah.
Well, my
love
musk can smell my
46.
musk. Let's go with hail spores. That is a Constitution save. It's not gonna work, but fuck it, you know.
Mhm.
You know the drill. Spell save DC. I mean, Constitution save DC.
Yeah, he passed that.
Of course he did.
He definitely passed
And I
that.
end my turn. I got nothing else.
Word. It is now
Wait,
Streaky's
unless
turn.
that was a bonus action. No, that
Oh.
was a. That's not a bonus action. Fuck. I should have used healing. You know what? End my turn.
Word. It is now Streaky's turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna tiptoe in my jaws away from that fucker to these boxes.
These boxes. The
You
boxes.
do that. That's difficult terrain.
Not only that, you have opportunity of attack.
I was gonna
He
say you
is
could deal a lot of
paralyzed.
damage to him.
Oh right, it's paralyzed.
Here, never mind. I moved back. Ignore what I did.
You have crit with 5 feet. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
You have crits and advantage. She's paralyzed.
Oh yeah, true.
He's
Okay.
paralyzed
Well,
and on
crit
the floor.
if you're melee range.
Okay, so I'm gonna have my advantage setting on. Want to
Well,
use
and
my
I'm still
douse.
double,
Oh, there.
double advantage.
Double advantage.
Is it still double advantage? He's surrounded, plus paralyzed.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna use my Dow sword.
Go do it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Fuck yourself.
already a crit.
Dick.
There it is,
Crit.
baby.
So is that triple crit? A double crit?
I'll
No.
give it double crit, so
Oh my god!
multiply your
times
damage
three.
by 3. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Roll
Okay,
for
so-
roll damage once, and let's see what
this
happens.
might actually be huge.
This could be a
Are
game
we
changer.
playing Risk of Rain now?
This will be.
Apparently,
Someone had
stacking
crit
modifiers. 17 times 3.
17 times.
I can't do
3,
math.
I'll do the
That's
math for you.
51.
51.
You so you bring down your
Wow.
sword on him,
Yeah.
and
like
you leave a pretty
stab
bad
him.
gash along his neck.
Good.
You stab right below his left ball sack, and he's gone.
Damn right.
Right below it, you don't even hit anything. You just put fear in him.
Fear of God.
He
I don't-
fainted.
51 psychic damage.
Then I
Like-
pick up my prayer book and beat him with the
But he
Bible.
wants
Damage-
a fucking heart attack because
damage
he's going to lose
conversion.
his nuts.
Anyway, so is he dead?
Nope.
What the fuck? These guys have. All right.
So
Yeah,
now
he big.
I would like to do an unarmored attack.
All right, go for it.
All
It's still
right.
advantage.
Let's see that slap
it's still-
damage.
It's still double advantage.
That hits.
Yay. All right.
Roll for
let's see.
damage.
7.
Slap. That's 14.
Dealing 14 damage.
Hell yeah. Now,
How's he looking? How's he looking? How's that?
now I want to be a dick and use a key point and use Flurry of Blows. Because fuck
Oh
this-
my. Okay, let's go.
Because fuck
Two
you.
more
And
attack.
more
you're still
attack.
family. So I'll use the Dow sword again.
hmm
Wait, what?
Hey.
Oh, right. No, use key point.
Yeah.
That hits.
7.
Another 14 damage.
14 damage.
And I attack again, correct?
All right, yes, you do.
Yes.
Pretty sure Fear
And-
Blow allows that.
Yeah.
You just keep on like
Jamming.
slashing
Wait,
at
okay.
him.
So I did one, I did another one. Then I used a key point to do this one. Is that enough or is within my books? Or...
Flurry of Blows gives you 2 attacks, so you have
Okay.
Two attack, so yeah, one more.
Okay, another one. Okay, I want to do I want to do a slap.
Does that
Yeah,
hit?
let me check something.
Okay.
That hits.
I'm just
Oh.
beating this motherfucker. 7.
Another 7 damage. Another 14 damage.
Another 14 damage. Very
God bless
consistent.
Holgerson.
I just got rage for some reason. And just
God
started
bless
bubbling.
Holgerson.
And it's like you're trying to split a block of wood that's like really big. This guy he's looking really bad, but he's not dead.
Old person, man.
Well, I did a lot of damage. I'm happy.
And now it is this dwarf's turn. As they see Sinead heal her ally, the dwarf contemplates it for a moment, looking over at the other resurrected warriors, and kind of blinks hard, and points her hammer over towards the barbarian. And she casts Dispel Magic. Hang on a second, let me find this. Within range, their level lower, target ends. What's the level of that spell that you cast? The hold person spell? Zendel?
You were asking about the hold spell, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What level did you cast that?
Well, let's see. The hold spell. It's where the fuck is it? Oh, it's level 3. Oh, no, 2. It's a level 2 spell.
Yeah,
Level,
they dispel that
what-
instantly.
so that's gone. The spell's gone.
Yeah, the hold person wears off when the dwarf points at him and casts dispel magic.
Nah, makes sense. Okay. Well, that thing's gone.
And now, just reading through some of these features real quick. That's their action. So that's going to end their turn. And now they're going to. Oh, yeah, and the cloud above disappears since they lost concentration on it. And now it is the barbarian's turn. He uses half his movement to stand up, and he immediately goes into a rage. Like, big time.
Yep.
He has a superiority dice. That's interesting. So he is going to then. He's going to rage. He's going to immediately swing his weapon at Barack, who's been kind of clapping him. Actually,
Been trying.
Azim's been the most recent damage, who did like the most, so he's actually going to target Azim, because that makes more sense. He's going to swing his great axe at Azim.
Okay. Cool.
What's your DC?
AC.
My dexterity.
Or what's your armor class? My bad.
Oh, 15.
He definitely hit you,
Uh,
and he deals 22 damage. You still standing, right?
yep, just 24. 24 health,
Fucking
baby.
Elvis.
Oh,
Literally
I mean,
just dropped my
Dropping
health
down
half.
more than someone's dropping a slinky down the
Oh, yeah,
fucking
he-
staircase.
he hit you again,
Oh, does he?
and he
Does
is
he
going
now?
to go and deal 16 damage.
I'm a goddamn Genji mate at this point because I'm just taking into
I
I'm not
need
saying-
healing.
I
I
Someone-
need healing.
Are we
What
the
was that?
fucking mercy mains here?
Yes.
Fucking,
What
there's
is-
just
what-
one
how much
Genji
damage
and
did you say?
4
16?
mercies.
Did you say 16 damage? What damage did you
So
say?
it's one Genji, a Torbjorn, and 3 mercies.
Yep. How much
And
damage
it-
did you say makeshift?
He dealt 16 damage.
Oh, 16? Okay. Oh boy. Back to 8. I'm back there, baby.
And it is now Brock's turn.
Seeing as he just absolutely shunted Azim into the face, can I attempt to push him, like, into this space?
The one behind him?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. You just have to give me a strength check to grapple him.
Alright, I will add Flash's Genius and Armor for Magical Strength to it. Bup. Strength, you say? That is not of advantage. It did
You
not
gotta-
add.
You got to beat a
what?
26, so it's going to be.
That's, even with a 16, that's not doing it. Even though I'm confused again why it didn't add. Oh, because... Roll 20, please. If I say it's skill, I also mean base skills. Yeah, no. That's a total of 16. That doesn't.
You attempt to kind of grab at his armor and yank him back, but this guy, it feels like he just pulled on like a tree trunk. He did not budge at all. And Henry still has an action, if you want to utilize that in any way.
Is it desperate enough to get him to stop protecting Shanti? It might actually be.
Put her in a fucking box.
It's a Shanti in a box.
It's my Shanti in
Yeah.
a box. It's my
I'll
dick in a
yell
box.
over to Henry. Hi, Shanti, come help here. We need your fucking help. And hold on, get your token and put it in a box.
Right there.
And hold on, how much movement does this man have?
I'm in the box.
Zendel just zoomed.
Zendel
Henry
goes,
has 40
"Whee!"
movement. That should be enough.
Hmm?
He has 40 movement. That's like, hold up. Bup. Can he swap with Jonathan?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then he will get her and run over here.
He does that.
And uses his attack action. I assume still with advantage because he's surrounded?
Yes.
Alright. That is an 18.
And he misses.
Oof. Yep, that is my turn.
And now, it is Jonathan's turn. Seeing all of that going down, what would Jonathan's plan of action even be at this point? He can just do one thing continuously. He's going to step back from this action, looking back over at the dwarf who just cast a spell magic. And he's going to once again pop off with a Eldritch Blast. Ooh, which completely misses. As it just fires over the dwarf's head. And let's see if I can grab this quickly. As he does that, there's a strange sort of sound coming from the far side of the room. Let me see if he actually notices this. Roll 11 plus. Yeah, no, he did not notice this. Suddenly, from behind Jonathan, a hulking mass of metal, pretty similar to Henry. I'll just use this thing, the stand-in. Runs up behind him and grapples him, and sort of holds him in a full Nelson. He's now immobilized. Actually, let me get the strength check on him. Yeah, he very much failed that strength check.
No.
And then the dwarf lady looks over at Shanti and says, and then glances over at Brock and says, "He's supposed to be our replacement." Did I say Shanti
Brock
again?
looks.
You've covered it though. It's good.
Oh, Sinead. Oh my. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks. She
I
looks.
mean,
at
if you look at a
Sinead.
box and then you look at Brock, I mean, that's fine. However,
She looks at Sinead, she looks at Brock and then back
I mean,
at
yeah,
Sinead.
you died. So,
Huh. Some fine work on that golem.
he's pretty smart.
And then as they're bantering, let's see if this tiefling has any healing spells. Because I think they do. They absolutely do.
Uh-oh.
She steps up nearby this portal and puts her hand on the back of the barbarian and casts. Just a second.
Oh,
There's
no.
their sheet. Cure wounds. And it's at 6th level. Heal that much. Let's roll. 8 plus 7. Heals him for 34 damage. Or health, I should say.
Oh,
Fuck.
I have to like look around my microphone every time I need to type something. And that will be her action. And that is that's the end of the initiative. And now, once again, jumping back to Group B for a moment. Shanti,
That's me.
as you're falling through the darkness, you start to hear that voice that started this all off at the skull starting to get clearer. You can't quite tell what's being said, but you can hear that something's beckoning you from deep down where you're falling. And it almost seems like you're starting to reach the bottom of wherever you're going. And then, as like a rift seems to be opening beneath you, similar to the one that you first entered, it seems like a hand is reaching out again, as you're still in the midst of falling, and it doesn't seem to be falling. It's not like you're falling past it, it's like it's falling with you. But starting to get closer.
Gonna reach out and grab it. Like Alice in Wonderland, she's just gonna whoop, grab it.
Word. You do that, and you're pulled in to this sort of this unusual looking dimension. Things are very strange here. And like around you it seems like you remember that sand from the very start of this where the skull was?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like as far as you can see now, there's just that sand and just the darkness above you. When you look up, you can see stars everywhere. And nearby, you can see that skull from the before, just kind of chilling out off to the distance. But it's moving around doing its own thing. It's kind of hard to tell what it's doing exactly. It's not drinking the pool blood. And
Uh-huh.
standing right next to you is a rather tall figure. He must be at least like 10 feet tall or something. Like he's
Oof.
very lanky. It's not even just like he looks like a tall human, but he looks like he is some other race entirely that's just incredibly tall. And he looks down at you with this sort of like calming smile. His skin's very pale, his hair is this incredibly soft flowing white, and he has these sort of scholarly robes on. Hello, Shanti.
Hi, how do you know my name?
Well, that's going to take some time to answer. Please, would you have a seat? And
Seat.
some pillars of sand kind of rise up out of the ground at like sitting height.
Oh boy. Shanti kind of looks a little bit startled, but sits anyway. She doesn't really see this giant person as a threat.
As you sit down, he very plainly states, he starts talking and says, "Well, there are very few things in this existence that I don't know. What sits before you is the god of intellect and knowledge.
Oh.
Or, well, I used to be." And as he holds up his hand, you can see it's sort of like sand crumbles away from like the pinky as he tries to move it a bit.
I don't understand. What do you mean, used to be?
You see, a very long time ago, I had died. Although death is a very strange thing for us gods, especially for one such as me. In all honesty, even though I'm the god of intellect, I can't even really comprehend what it means to be finite, to have a beginning and an end. But I can easily understand caving into my own fears. That is what brought me to my end so very long ago.
I think I understand. But how? What fears could a god have?
He leans back a bit in a more relaxed position. A very long time ago, I was forced to confront the very simple fact that fate was imperfect in this world. After Interna had put a crack in the idea of fate, damaged the god that had created me, I had to live with the fact that I simply could not know everything. My very existence was imperfect. But at the time, I refused to accept that. And that refusal is what drove me to turn against the woman that I loved.
You loved someone?
Yes, and I still do. How long has it been? It's hard to even comprehend.
Time is relative. For me, it could be a second, for you, 10,000 years.
You're wise. I like that. Shanti, I must thank you specifically.
Why?
Because you've brought the woman that I loved back to me. Her name, you might recognize it as Interna. Sorry, folks, that was wrong. You might recognize it.
Fuck. Hold on.
Take
I fucked
two.
it up. Hold on.
Sorry, folks, I mix up the gods a lot.
I got.
Take two.
I gotta get back into it. Hold on.
A little continuity error there.
Okay. Cut. Roll it back. Try it again. Go.
Her name, you might recognize her as Laverton.
Shanti's jaw kind of drops for a second. It's just like, oh.
Yes. Although, I suppose humanity has gone on to recognize that relationship we had as the id and the ego of the mind. She brought instinct to all living things in existence, gave them fear to preserve themselves. And me, I gave all living minds an ego, so that they could control that id deep within them. But
Wait, I don't understand. How did I bring you to Leverton? I've only met her once, and...
well, you see, Leverton's soul has been absorbed into, well, you now know them as Elric.
Yeah, I know that, but... Are you following me?
In a way, I suppose you could say that.
Shanti looks really confused and kind of shakes her head a little. It's just like, I don't understand.
You see, Shanti, just like how fate created me so very long ago, so too did I create you.
What?
Yes. Your mother, well, my mother. She believed that her conception must have been some mistake that she didn't recall, perhaps even against her will. But in truth, I had reached through time itself. I had constructed a new body for myself from so many eons in the past. And I did it for the same reason that drove me to die in the first place, is that I was afraid.
No. My mother, she said my father was a traveling scientist. I don't understand. You're saying... What, that I'm some sort of immaculate conception?
Yes.
Shanti just kind of sits there staring at, like, this person for just mouth open, trying to piece together, trying to find some sort of hole in their story. Is just...
Although, I suppose it's not entirely accurate to say it was just me. He reaches up his hands for a moment, and a glow kind of comes from between his fingers. And it seems like this kind of tunnel appears. And this extreme, as you see behind him, it seems like this tunnel carries on for eternity, and lighting around changes to this sort of a glowing white light that's shifting around. It's very unusual looking, but as you look towards it, the tunnel seems to just continue straight to an endless point far, far away. He explains, I was only able to reach you through the powers of the outer gods themselves. Using eternity was the only way I could reach into the future. And now, I'm paying the price.
What price?
Isn't it obvious? And his hand starts to crumble more after that light shines from his hand.
You're fading. But
No. But
you keep going. She's just like having an existential crisis.
yeah. He says, in a way, yes. But not entirely. That's actually why I brought you here, Shanti.
Why did you bring me here? I thought I was just here because of a stupid mistake by touching something I shouldn't have.
No. We both know quite well that fate works in strange ways. You were here because all those thousands of years ago, I willed it so, with all the power I had left. And now, I can only ask one favor of you.
What is it?
On my behalf, please seek forgiveness from the woman that I loved, that I still love.
Forgiveness? I still don't understand.
I betrayed her out of fear of not knowing the future. And it was that betrayal that caused her to relinquish her mind to curse the world.
Oh.
He points towards the book at your hip. I believe you even have a piece of her there.
Yes, I do.
Good. That is all.
That's all?
He begins to crumble more and more.
She stands up and she tries to, like, stop him from crumbling, but, you know, sand through an hourglass, it just kind of falls through her fingers, and she tries to call out to him and just... I don't understand. Are you telling me that I'm half a god? What? I'm just me. I'm not a god. I'm not like him.
But you are a god, Shanti. And as he's starting to crumble more and more, his size reduces further and further, until in like a puff of sand, his form clears away, and he starts to... As you look at him, he's no longer who he was before, and actually just seems to be a reflection of you with white hair.
Shanti kind of, like, tilts her head a little bit and examines this reflection.
They tilt their head back.
What is this? Shanti's just, like, muttering to herself both in common and quarry, trying to understand what the fuck is going on.
And they continue to disintegrate, a bit slower this time now. It seems like the sort of dust from them is flowing towards you now, rather than just flowing away and drifting off.
When you say flowing towards me, like, is it flowing into me, or is it, like, swirling around like a tornado?
It's like in Skyrim when you kill a dragon
Oh.
and absorb their soul.
Oh,
A bit
okay.
slower. Yeah.
Shanti kind of
And-
turns in a circle, watching the sand, like, swirl around her, still confused.
And the last images you see of the former god is as their face begins to crumble, they seem to look just over your shoulder and smile, as their eyes are the last things to disappear.
I would like to turn over my shoulder and try to see what's going on.
You do that, and we're gonna switch back to Group A.
Oh, fuck you!
All I can think of that from that scene from God of War, of just like, I'm a god boy story.
Oh my
He's
god.
like a little boat.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
And-
that too.
Sinead, it is your turn in the initiative.
All right, ask him. You a ham of ass.
Okay, now I know. Bars, pack that hand.
Prepare your bones.
Oh, I'm preparing.
What is that plus 7? I think it's 45.
You heal 45 health.
Damn.
Fucking nice.
You know when you crack
Breathe.
your back and it feels awesome?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's the feeling you get just now.
Oh, I'd bust a nut from that.
53, baby. Almost there to full health.
She gives you a thumbs up.
I give a thumbs up back, like, thank you. Like that crying cat image and like the thumbs up. Just like, thank you.
And now, is that the end of your turn, Sinead?
Yes.
It is now Zendel's turn.
Ignore those. Alright. Glide's still alive, got healed. I don't know the threat here. If there is a threat.
That is the dwarf lady who has been standing next to Sinead as they've elected to do more
doing.
utility and healing.
You know what? We did some strong stuff.
Pummeling the tank. Just kidding.
We did a whole person, so why not do it again?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, baby.
A wise choice.
After what that thing does to everyone, as I'm doing the combo.
Everyone,
of the
you mean me?
and you, yeah.
Yes. You only
Doing the
attacks
big hammer and you doing the combo of the gods. Why not? You know. All right, I do a whole person. Once again,
And he does not pass it, so he's once again paralyzed.
there he goes.
Fuck yeah.
And I got nothing except for my bonus reaction damage. My reaction damage. So this is Hail Spores. You probably passed that, but let's try.
Second. Halo Spores.
Mhm.
Yeah, once again, that did nothing to him.
Okay, SpongeBob blew up sound. Okay, I end the turn.
You do that. It is now Azim's turn.
Oh boy. Here we go again. Alright. So first things off, I'm gonna use my Dial Sword. Is this still advantage or do I roll normally?
He's surrounded, so you have advantage.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. I use my sword. Fuck you.
Oh my god, you got another crit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Alright, show me that damage.
And we
Okay.
got double damage. A triple damage.
So here it is. But also, since it's a successful hit with a weapon, I'll also like to make it a trip attack.
Deal 10 damage. Let's see if you get the trip attack in.
Yeah.
We'll make it trip. Make
Yeah.
It's also
quad
currently raging.
advantage.
So you're gonna have to beat his strength at advantage.
Okay. What do I gotta do? Just
You gotta
a strength
beat-
roll?
You gotta beat a 18. Yeah,
Alright.
strength roll.
Strength roll?
Well, team members 8 proficiency dex. Didn't it state what you have to roll? I think it's just
It's
Spirit
not a
die
roll.
to make a attack roll, and if your target is large or small, it must make a strength saving throw, or they'll save you on target roll. Let's. Do they make a? What's the Spirit ready die that you roll? Because that's how you establish the DC, I think.
Which dice would that be?
D20.
Makeshift.
DC.
Makeshift.
Yeah. What's up?
The utmost point. This part.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought it
That's-
was. So,
That's a difficult challenge for all of his superiority moves that require a save.
so what's your proficiency bonus?
My proficiency is what the fuck is it? 4.
4. And then what's your
Yeah.
dexterity?
My dexterity is 17. Or which number? The top or the bottom?
The bottom one, so that's a plus.
Yeah, 17.
That's plus 3, so 12 plus 3 is 15. He made it. He didn't get tripped. That answers that.
He didn't get tripped.
Yeah, no, he's still standing. You
Okay.
once again try and break those ankles, and they do not.
Okay, then I'm gonna punch him. Fuck.
Wait, hang on. That does not hit him.
Okay. I'm gonna spend a key point.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my sword.
Okay. That does hit him.
Hell yeah. 7. And you good?
You deal 7 damage.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking
That's
at my screen.
And then I do one more unarmored. Fuck yeah.
4. Another key point for an unarmored? Or for
No,
unarmed?
because I did the sword and unarmored, which is just my basic. Then I use a key point for flurry of attacks, which is 2 extra attacks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, yeah, then the second one hits.
Yeah. 9.
Slap. 9
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, that's it. I'm good.
Word. That to the side. It is now the dwarf lady's turn again. She's going to move out of. Move this way. Which gives. It gives Sinead an opportunity attack if you want to take it.
She is not going to take it cause she likes her.
You don't take it, and she walks over here and turns toward the fighting and once again casts a spell magic on him. Using up the last of the spell slots in level 3. And he is once again released from the hold person spell.
Damn it!
It is now Big Boy's turn.
The fucking damn it!
oh,
From
great.
the back. Damn it!
And he's going to take another swing at Brock.
Oh my god.
Since he hasn't been focusing on you at all, and he saw Asm get healed a lot. What's your armor class?
23. If it still hits, I'll cast shield.
Yeah, he beats 23.
So does it cast 23 plus 5?
No, he doesn't beat that.
Okay.
Haha.
And for the rest of this turn, my armor class is 28.
Word.
As I cast shield as my reaction.
And then, seeing a strange shielding aura appear around you, he's now going to swing for the robot in front of him. What's Henry's AC?
15.
15. Holy crap, he actually didn't make that. He rolled very low.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And that is the end of his turn. It is now Brock and Henry's turn.
Alright. Brock will still haste it. Make 3 attacks against this motherfucker. Does he still count as surrounded?
Yes. He has Asm on the other side of him, so he's flanked.
Okay. 20, would you please? Thank you.
Oh, that
is
hits.
a 27. Clunk.
2 radiant. So what's the total damage there?
That is a total of 20 damage.
Word. You deal 20 damage with that bonk.
Bonk. And there's one arcane shot. Only have one left. And that is my second attack for a 23 to hit.
Another 23. Okay, yeah, that hits.
That hits. Okay.
Yep.
So waiting for confirmation. That
Sorry,
is a
I
max
got
roll
some.
on the bonk. That is a total of 16 damage.
16 damage. Let me see if I can mental math this. No, I cannot trust myself.
And actually, I'm going to do a third attack for my additional action.
And he, oh my god, he is looking incredibly battered. Like he
yeah, then
is.
I'm gonna keep attacking. That is another 27. That is hitting.
Yeah, you hit.
That is 9 damage.
So as your first hammer smacks him in the gut, he kind of like wheezes forward. Then your next hammer kind of, you bring it down on his back and smack him down to one knee. And then the next hit, you kind of bring it back up and just and hit him again. He's then brought down to the floor and seems to go unconscious.
Yes. Seeing that he is now very much out of the fight, I will tell Henry, go help Jonathan. He will try exactly that. Walking over here. I can't put him in between two spaces. I'll say he's directly next to Jonathan, trying to pull him free.
Word, give me a strength check against that golem.
Okay.
Or I guess it's more accurate to say it's a steel defender.
I mean, yeah. That is indeed with Henry's stat blocks, and that's a 12.
12. Let me roll this thing. It got a 16. So Henry clamps down his hands onto this this other steel golem's body, or onto its arms, and tries to pry them away from Jonathan. But it seems like it's holding firm. It can't quite get Jonathan free.
Damn, that sucks. Sorry about that, Jonathan. Anyway,
Actually,
that's
wait a second. That should technically be at advantage, since Jonathan would also be helping to like break free of it. So
Okay.
give me another strength check, and if it beats 16, you do with one break. Never mind.
That rolled an 11.
No.
Sad. I don't think I have anything else apart from maybe movement. Which, sure, I'll move forward. Yep. Actually, no. I won't. Drop that. I'll stay there.
And now on Jonathan's turn, he's going to try and break free with a strength check. Advantage from Henry. Oh my god, he got a 20. So if the golem gets a 20, I'll roll the 20, the d20 in here just to see. I got them unbalanced dice. 15. Do I want to be merciful and say just because it's 20 he crits and gets out? Yeah, I've been doing crits on skill checks. I can think it's
Oh my
instant.
god.
So yes, Jonathan manages to wiggle free from the grapple. And he then turns and tries to take a swing at this golem. Actually, what's the modifier on this weapon? He absolutely misses this thing. His sword skims off the side of it and it leaves a little scorch mark on its shoulder, but it does not seem to do too much.
Poor Jonathan.
Yeah, he needs some levels. I keep getting shown a very big stat block in my DMs by Mars, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know. It's
Hey,
coming
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
Hey,
it.
oh, don't worry about it.
Hey.
And now, it is the Tiefling's turn. She reaches down, puts a hand on the Goliath, and casts another healing word, which is... Where is her sheet? Where's her spells? She's out of her highest level slot, so she has to do this. Uh, 5d8 plus 7. And he heals 34 damage and is brought back up. Let me quickly do the math there, folks. In his exhausted state, he gasps for breath as a new vitality is pumped through his seemingly corpse body. And then the tiefling keeps their hand on him and uses one of their abilities. Where's this thing? I almost cannot even be bothered to find the name of it, because I've already used it in combat. Yeah, I don't feel like finding it again. They teleport 15 feet. 2, 4. Well, they can only go this far. They teleport them both to here. And then... you hear the dwarf call out, or you see the dwarf look at the two as they kind of look back at the dwarf in this sort of, like, questioning gaze on their face. It seems like they're contemplating something among the group. And we are back at the start of the initiative with Sinead.
Okay. Listen, you all. I remember you all were amazing, you were like family to me. Us and Fen Dolphin.
Dolphin?
You know, I don't know what has happened to you in the afterlife, I don't know what Kolvar has told you.
Kolvar.
Look, I don't want to fight you all. Okay, I just... It's not fair that you are back alive like this. Like, I'm sorry about that.
You see the Goliath kind of stammers to his feet and he starts to charge towards you. But the dwarf puts out their hand to tell him to stop. And he ceases. The group take a moment to look around at each other. And the dwarf speaks up. Fine then. That's enough of this. This is only delaying the inevitable anyway. I doubt you can even stop him at this point anyway.
Apu. Kolvar?
To be honest, I don't want to stop him, I just want to figure out what the hell's going on here.
She nods over towards the portal. You best hurry.
All right. I guess we're going to the portal.
What about Shanti?
Yeah, let's not leave behind me, please.
Mm-hmm.
Grab her.
Nice.
Last time we left someone behind, it didn't go well.
Exactly.
Alright, I'll just grab Shanti then. Unless someone else wants to.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna tell Henry, go grab
Oh,
Shanti.
right.
Henry.
He does that.
Look Golem. Still offender, sorry. Yoink.
And you all down to jump
Wait,
into the
so
crystal
the-
portal? Right, if you want to
I
stay
ain't got a
behind.
goddamn choice,
Let's
do
go.
I? I'm still out.
Sinead jumps in. Henry jumps in. Rock jumps in.
Asum doesn't want to be left behind again. He jumps in.
Asum jumps in.
He learned his lesson about not jumping into the portal.
Listen, there was a fish. I wanted it fish. I didn't expect it to get bitch slammed by a dead person.
And Zendel, do you also jump in?
Yes, I do.
And Jonathan. He jumps in as well. I'll just put it on the stack.
Insert
so
cool
the-
noises.
The former officials of Vestia stare at you begrudgingly as you all enter the darkness of the portal. And all of you feel this incredibly uneasy sense of falling as you're descending into darkness and you can't see what's around you. Before you realize it, you suddenly find yourself on this. It almost seems like you're standing on a coastline where the sand is a little bit wavy, but like the water is long receded. And you can see this very large skull with this odd glow to it. It's almost like somewhere between purple and like kind of orangey glow. You can't quite put your finger on it, but this is the light given off by this massive skull is very uneasy. And before it, and beneath it you can see this pool of blood that seems to be drinking some sort of liquid out of.
Late.
And in front of that, you can see Kolvar. He seems to be attempting to do something to it. He has his hands raised up like he did back with the portal when he opened up the crystal. And you can also see...
All right, Kolvar.
Oh. Go ahead.
What is it that you think you know?
He looks over his shoulder. I'm impressed. Managed to get past some of the finest the world has ever known. But, all for naught. Not even sure I could have moved this if I tried. What I think I know is that I think I want to stop everything that has ever existed from burning to the ground. That's what I want.
That's what I'm trying to do too. So, yeah.
Oh, and you think by walking the exact same path that one did, you're gonna accomplish that? I know this all seems pretty confusing to you, Sinead. But trust me, you having all the stones is not a good idea.
Listen, there's only two paths available here. And all of them go through this. I have tried to see other paths. And there's only two.
He grimaces a bit, seeming like he kind of understands some sort of subtext that you're trying to put forward. You know, Sinead, all the time I worked for you more like, I never really knew you to be the kind of person who just sat on their ass and, well, accepted things as they were. He looks up at the soul stone. I hope you know what you're doing, Sneyd. Because I do know what I'm doing. This might be a dead end for me. But it's not the end by a long shot. He snaps his fingers, and a new portal opens up behind him, seemingly re-entering the parabola. Oh, and you may want to be brief here. The other portal won't stay open for too long. And, I've got a little present for you outside there. You'll see. Bye-bye. And he jumps backwards through the portal. And now you notice, seemingly behind where he was, you see somebody laying on the ground with this flowing white hair. Looks very light and airy. Kind of like beyond where the pool was.
Fucking damn it.
Jesus.
They seem collapsed on the ground. Brock, you immediately recognize that's Shanti.
Yes. I am now very confused. I'm like,
There's two shorties now.
Very confused.
There's two shotties now.
Too shorty now.
Two of them.
God.
Two shorties now. God damn.
There's two.
Brock
of them.
looks back at Henry just to confirm that he is still carrying Shanti's body.
He is.
Looks back at the fucking other Shanti on the floor. Looks back.
This is getting out of
Why
hand.
is there
There's two of them.
Shantis? What? And like he runs over to the Shanti
Hold on.
just to be like, what the
Hold
fuck
on
is
one
going
second.
on?
Hold on one fucking second.
You doing alright there, Briar?
No. It's today.
Did you survive?
This is getting out of hand. There are two of them. It's fucking
Yes.
Phantom
There's two of them.
Hold on, I gotta get a drink.
Oh,
I
thank
like
you for
s-
the reminder.
I'm like spaced out for a slight second, and then I just hear, "This is getting out of hand. There are two of them." Oh no.
my God.
Okay. Oh. I'm good. I swear. Brock, would you mind repeating that again, please? Ooh.
And looking at Shanti, he'll just say, why is there a second one in? And saying that, he will run over to take a look at second Shanti.
You do that, and Henry jogs along behind you. I should probably switch. Oh wait, yeah, the views are switched.
I got
Henry
you,
jogs
bro.
along behind you. Nice, thank you. And as Henry's getting closer to the one on the ground, it seems like there's almost this these sort of threads. It's hard to explain exactly. It's like wisps of dust in the air. They're kind of pulling the Shanti that's on the ground towards the one that's in Henry's hands.
Oh,
Do we just shove them together?
I will make sure to step out of the way
Fucking
of that.
Christ.
Very confused.
And Henry gets a little closer, and like the tugging between them is starting to pick up, and the Shanti on the ground is starting to get like pulled upward a bit more. He kind of like leans down, and the two just kind of and snap together. And Shanti, you wake up.
I kind of snap forward and just start like breathing again. You know, like how those movies have you like snap out of something. I don't know what it's called. Big gasp
Joy, well,
moment.
at last, 2 seconds later, you have a fucking dwarf on your chest.
What?
Hugging the
Oh.
fuck out of you.
Oh.
Just
Doing what now?
doing a running hug.
Oh.
Fucking glump.
Shanti's really surprised for a hot second, and she just she's like blinking a lot and trying to like figure shit out, but she like hugs him back eventually after like coming
lost
to a
it.
little bit.
And Shanti, you realize something is that for the first time in a dream, your vision seems as blurry as it was in the physical world.
What?
And then,
What?
And
No,
then
no, no.
you're-
Re-say that, because I don't think my brain just connected with what you said.
yeah, for the first time, you realize your vision is as blurry in this dream, or this like corporeal state. Like you're in a place that you know is a dream space, essentially. And your vision is as blurry as it is in the real world.
She kind of like blinks a bit and is very confused and looks down at Brock and then around at everyone else and is just like, oh god, what part of this is this? Or she like rubs her eyes a bit.
Rock will like let go of her, but it's like, what part? I just got you back. What do you mean, what part?
Hold on 1 second. Just, I'm confused and need help.
Out of character or in character?
No,
They DM'd me something.
I'm getting two
Okay.
different answers! What? Okay.
It do be hard for you to see until
Okay.
5 seconds pass. The next
Okay.
thing that I say.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. I was really confused. My brain was like, is it? She looks back at Brock and just goes, do me a favor, pinch me.
And he will pinch her cheek.
Ah. Okay.
And as you do that and you kind of like flinch and like your cheeks moved a bit, something feels a bit different about the blurriness. It's almost like you could like peek through it a bit. Like there was like a sliver of like clarity through the blurriness as your face adjusted. And Brock, you notice that Shanti's hair is starting to change color. Like it's sort of like the black color is like flooding away from it and it's being bleached slowly.
Shanti kind of blinks a bit and squints her eyes at Brock again, like, what the fuck?
Rock
And
just
suddenly-
looks at her hair and just says, "Oh, that's
Hey, you're finally awake.
No.
oh god."
No, Mars, you can't do that to me a second time!
Touch the magical object, did you?
Another hand touches the beacon!
No! No!
Another one.
I'm sorry. I'm
And
sorry.
so lightning comes down from the sky and kills all of you instantly.
Bruh, what
God
the fuck?
damn it.
Just
Okay.
kidding.
What? Okay, Brock, what did you
So-
say?
One sec. I am trying not to break out in laughter because there's
No,
two people
I know, I'm s-
sleeping.
I'm sorry. Okay. Very
Oh,
serious. This is a very sweet moment. We're all together. Okay.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
you
no
see
matter
the color flooding away from Shanti's hair.
He will kind of like go through her hair a little bit and say, "Well, that is new." Oh, but as long as I have you back, I don't care what hair color you have. And he will hug her again.
Oh, Shanti's gonna hug him way more clear this time and hug him back as well. But she uses one hand to like pull her hair in front of her face and is like,
And
you bastard.
oh, what's up?
She called him a bastard.
Brock, as you open your eyes in that hug, you notice it seems like there's some sort of wispy form appearing behind Shanti. It's like very close, like there's like these wisps up near your face and you can't quite tell what's going on. And Shanti, suddenly you remember that there was something over your shoulder just before you passed out.
Shanti's gonna pull away from Brock and turn her head quickly to try and see if it was still behind her or if that was just a dream thing.
You turn over your shoulder, and you see in very great clarity a woman standing behind you in this kind of ethereal form. And it looks very similar to you.
Is it me, or
Did
is
someone
that...
just fart?
Nope,
As
that was
you-
me. That was me. I made a noise with my mouth. Don't worry about it.
That was damn.
As you're glancing back at them,
I
trying to
heard it.
process, is this another clone of me? It hits you. It's your mother.
Oh,
And you see her with
God.
incredible clarity as her hands now move out of the way of your eyes, since they were covering your face a moment ago.
Oh God. Oh no.
And it seems
Wait,
like her eyes are shut. Yes, go ahead.
She kind of like, her jaw drops again, and she just kind of like reaches out and tries to like touch her. Like, logic brain knows, oh, that's not a corporeal being. That's not real. But also at the same time, brain goes, mommy.
You reach out and touch them, and you can feel them there.
Oh,
And when you do, their eyes crack open for a moment, and they look at you, squinting. Well, kind of squinting, just kind of like sleepily opening their eyes a bit. It seems like they smile a little bit bigger for just a moment, as they pull their hands away from you.
Mom.
They're silent.
She kind of like looks from her to Brock, back to her, and is like, am I the only one seeing this right now?
You are not the only person seeing this. Everybody else, you can see the vague silhouette of a person standing in front of Shanti. Not in great clarity, but you can definitely tell there's a person standing there.
I don't know who it is, but someone is there, yes.
Fuck me, man. Okay, she kind of mumbles a little bit and is just like, that's my mother. And she kind of like puts like both hands up and like touches her mom's face and is just like, what the fuck is going on? Her brain is doing the Windows startup noise. It is confused.
You do that, and you can still feel their face. They seem to smile a little bit more as you do that, but sadly they remain silent. And as you're still standing there in awe of them, they start doing that thing that the clone of you, or like the god of knowledge, was doing, and their form seems to start getting pulled towards the skull.
Wait, no. And she kind of like tries to reach out and stop her from going towards the skull.
You try, but sadly,
You
there's
tried.
no roll for that.
There's no rule for putting your hand in a fucking soul.
Roll for emotional damage is all you can do now.
Okay. Oh, you're kidding me! Fuck off!
What did you get?
20!
What did you get?
Fuck off!
Emotional
Emotional.
damage.
Yasha, play it.
Where the fuck do I have it?
I get a
Obviously,
fucking
searches the
20!
soundboard.
Holy fuck. How? You did this.
You're-
I don't know how, but you did it somehow, fucker.
What,
Okay.
the dice that you rolled in life?
No, Makeshift did it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. It's his fault.
Yeah,
Fuck,
it's the
okay.
DM superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shanti just
Like-
scrambles to try and grab at her mom's form, and it just slips through her fingers. Like sand in an hourglass.
And she fades away into the soul stone.
Seeing
Ouch.
Brock will once again put an arm around Shanti. This time not as tight, but still just being like, hey, I'm here, essentially.
For a moment, Shanti is just kind of still. My eyesight's still bad? You said she moved her arms away.
Nope, your eyesight is now incredibly clear.
Fucking Christ. She turns to Brock, and it finally clicks in her head that she can see. I can see clearly now the rain has gone.
Yes.
And she kind of like...
This is not the first time you've seen Brock's face clearly.
Exactly. And her tears start to well up in her eyes as she like reaches out and like touches his face, and she breaks down. She just pulls him into a huge hug and is just, holy shit, I can fucking see you.
He will very much embrace that hug.
Oh.
You do that.
It takes a moment for her to like gather herself up and not be in emotional trauma, and she kind of pulls back, stares at him again, and then she just kind of starts laughing. She almost kind of the same way that Elric did when the tree fell, and it's just I can see you.
Rock will look at her slightly confused because he's like, I mean, right, wait. And then you just see his fucking mouth open wide as he's just staring in almost disbelief. Like,
She like nods her head and is just like, I can see you. And she kind of turns and she looks at everyone else and she stands up and she goes to Henry and she puts both of her hands on his face and she's just I can see you. And she runs to Sinead and she puts both of her hands on Sinead's face and is just absolutely laughing and crying at the same time. And she does the same to Zendel and Asim, and she's like, I can see you.
Asimov's just covered in his own blood from the damage.
He is.
He's just standing there. It's just like, you pat him and it's like covered in his blood. It's like, okay.
She does not care.
I mean, I just say, like, if you think about it, it's a upgrade from smelling me. So, it's real great.
Yeah.
As you kind of come to your senses, seeing how bloodied Asim was, the elevator music coming from what's his name again? Henry's head, echoing through the distant silence. It kind of snaps you to awareness, and you kind of realize the situation you're in. I really just wanted to point out the elevator music echoing throughout all of eternity here.
I like how that comes back in like some of the best. She stops at Asim, and when she pulls back, she's like, "Oh, what happened? You know what? Never mind. She looks back up at the soulstone, and it's just, we need to get that and go. Quick.
Yeah, do you all hear that roaring in the distance?
What?
It finally occurs to you that elevator music is not the only thing you can hear, as through the portal, there's a very loud, sort of ominous noise coming. It's sort of like the sound of... It's adjacent to the sound that the force shield cracking was making, but this is kind of its own thing. And you kind of remember what Kolvar said as he was leaving. Something along the lines of having a gift for you.
oh, fuck. Well, celebrations will have to wait.
Please tell me that you people still have mana left over.
Some.
The elevator music intensifies.
How
Oh,
far
we are
away
so
is the
screwed.
soulstone? How high up is it?
The portal from you? It's actually just right
I
behind
think he
all.
knows I think I know what you left us, and this is not going to be fun.
Wait, okay, is the soulstone and the portal two separate things?
Oh, the Soul Stone's just chilling out next to you guys. The portal is just behind the group that entered into here.
Okay.
Because you said the
Shanti's
Soul
gonna
Stone's
pick
like
up the
hovering.
Soul
It's like,
Stone.
where the fuck is that thing? Because
Shanti-
if that was 20 feet in the air, that was a problem.
Right. Well, not really, because I have levitate, so I could have just bloop and gone and got it. Shanti is going to pick up the Soul Stone. Gently, like, cover it with both... Oh, wait, where is it?
The Soul Stone
What's gonna stop me?
is the size of, like a small car.
What?
It's hovering.
Oh.
The Soul Stone is the skull.
Wait, hold on. Yasha, do you still have enlarge reduce?
Yes, and I can use that.
Oh
Reduce
God,
it.
I need a
Reduce it. Reduce it. We're gonna put a pocket skull. I didn't know the skull
This is not a good idea.
Put the soul in. Why is it not a good idea?
Casts Enlarge Reduce on literally the afterlife.
What?
Make
If the
it
school-
smaller.
Smaller.
It's not
Reflects
like
it back on you.
Tiny Brock. Okay. Okay. Oh shit. How do we fucking get it then?
I think Sinead might have just warned you about one of the effects of the stone.
Yeah,
Didn't
she
quite
did.
catch it.
We
so-
have to kill the giant worm.
The fucking what, Sinead?
I assume whatever the
I
fuck.
told you I think I have an idea of what you brought here.
And that's a good place to end the session.
Oh
There are
no.
creatures native to this place.
Oh,
Right after they finish saying this.
And one of them is called a giant void worm.
a fucking what? Is that it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For dramatic effect, the last thing we hear before black screen is just like a roar, and then see.
And
There you
that
go.
has been session 16, everybody.
Holy fuck!
That's
I can't believe you're on 16.
Hold
How are
on.
we on 16 now?
Magic? I
That's
have
like-
no idea.
Not gonna lie,
Over 4 months, including our break.
this
Yeah.
the whole scene where Shanti absorbs the god of knowledge, I genuinely, it felt like one of those things that like would never show up. It felt so far in the future, but
Right?
here we are, 16 sessions in the future.
Wait, is she a god now? Are we gonna have to wait to find out?
She's in the process of turning into one right now.
Oof.
She just absorbed one.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay. We're definitely gonna need to talk to
Gracious,
Elric
I
about
wish-
that.
Make
Yeah,
sure
you and-
she did that scene in like the Kratos voice of like, "You're a god boy."
Oh, God. You're a wizard, Shanti. I'm a what?
You're a
You're a
wizard,
star.
So
You're gonna go
quickly
through
before we
focus.
go, unfortunately, we will not have Untold Realms this upcoming weekend. Both Makeshift and I have to do separate things. He's on vacation. I'm having to deal with wedding plans. So we will not have Untold Realms next Saturday, which stinks because, oh my god, we're at a cliff. We need to, like, beat the fuck out of this worm now. But we will be back the weekend
We
after
have
next
positive destruction tomorrow or not tomorrow, Tuesday. I don't know what time
Tuesday.
is.
Yeah, she
Tuesday.
doesn't know what time is. We do have Path of Destruction on Tuesday, so you will still get some Untold Realm stuff. We're starting the next Path of Destruction arc, and I'm so excited. Other than that, I don't think I have any announcements unless anybody else has something they want to say.
I'm coming back to streaming this Tuesday, so first Pingu stream this Tuesday.
Yay, Pengu stream is
Hell
coming
yeah.
back.
Hell yeah.
Which is good. Go watch him because I can't stream this Tuesday because I'm actually going to see a Dungeons and
You
Dragons
can watch
show.
both him and Path of Destruction at the same time.
Yes.
Multi-stream drifting.
Tuesday we have Passive Destruction.
Wait, what? Wait, when is Tuesday?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm fucking up my time. Hold on.
What do you mean you're going to go see a show? I am so confused.
It's 3 days
We'll
from
discuss
now.
it later.
17th.
We'll discuss it later. I might actually be wrong. It's the 24th. Okay, I'm stupid. No, Mars, don't worry about it. I'm wrong. We're good. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I get to go
The
see.
week after.
The week after, I'm sorry. The one we don't have Path of Destruction on, I get to go see a Dungeons & Dragons show because I'm a fucking nerd. We're all good. Path of Destruction on Tuesday. We're going to Path of Destruction on Tuesday. Yeah, schedule makes
I am so
right for you.
confused.
Don't worry about
That's
it,
fine.
Mars. I got you. Thank you guys so much for coming out to Untold Realms. Rise of Vestia, we will be back, not next week, but the week after, and we will get to beat the shit out of a void worm, and it will be really, really cool.
Why
Well,
don't you
we
make
have
your
to
rice
die.
in a rice cooker? Shame on you, shame on your mom, shame on your grandma, so you mind your whole family, shame on your ancestors.
I make my rice in a rice cooker. Goddamn. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
I feel
we're-
I feel targeted with that because I do not use a rice cooker. I use a
Oh
pot.
my
One.
god. All right, we are gonna go. Some of us have food to eat. Some of us have
Going to whack you with a
sleep.
putt.
Oh my god. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out. We will see you all in session 17 in 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much. We will see you later. Bye bye.
See ya.